Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dark Heresy. Last time we left off with the warband not assaulting the villa.
Told you.
Instead, they went in. They had a very nice conversation. They swapped some stories. It's, it was a great success for diplomacy. They found that in general, Agent Hyserion is a nice Xeno-hating man. But the members of House Maguire really like the privateer Captain Tybalt, and just don't look too closely at the enormous amounts of advanced technology and heavy fortifications. It's not
Well,
that
that's
they're
pretty easy for Juno.
This is true. It's not that they're in any way illegal, it's just that there's a lot of them, and it might be somewhat disconcerting if you aren't expecting it. The meanwhile, right? Ceiko, stayed in like a sniper hide all day. He discovered midway through that he had been inadvertently sharing it with someone when they left. But both of them were too sneaky to ever actually notice the other one while they were there. And Amelie, when she brought donuts and Raycaf, was too sneaky to be noticed either.
Thankfully, I was the one looking for the food.
Yes. The other guy definitely would have noticed that food was there, or at least the smell of food appeared briefly, but, didn't spot it because they weren't expecting it to actually just be brought in there. So, it's just a food cart, probably, maybe. Who knows? But from that sniper hide, he did eventually notice one of the warband's first foes, the Warite cartel Seneschal Tyrann. She approached the villa and entered with the speed of someone who was expected. But Marco intercepted her on the stairs and brought her to... and has convinced her to come and talk to you.
I've still got my gun trained on her.
I love the line. Oh, they're actually fighting Xenos for once instead of busting our balls. I mean, that's not exactly what she said, but fuck.
Fucking burned us so hard, it's not even funny. Eh.
Reeves' crew actually fighting Xenos?
Nah, can't
It's
be.
not so.
Of course, we would be if she wasn't sticking her nose in here, and boy, am I going to give her a piece of my mind.
See, we keep shitposting, then what's going to happen is that we finally catch the Xenos and they just take their fucking helmets off and they're just people in suits.
It was an elaborate
They're just
ploy all
chaos
along.
again.
It's just been Frank this whole time in a Tau gimp suit. God damn it. This is all 4D chess to make Juno Frank's girlfriend.
We're not fighting aliens, we're fighting alien fetishists.
It's even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, that would 100% be under your purview.
Hate it.
But in any case, start with Ceiko, an awareness roll that you might actually succeed.
All right. Opening up my character sheet would be a good idea.
Yes.
+0, right?
Yes, as she has not stood still yet.
I'm gonna fate point that to succeed.
A fate point, I believe, would make it a tie.
Would it?
Yeah, they've got 5 degrees, you've got 4.
Oh. Well, dang. I guess I fate reroll then.
Alright.
Nope, it's even worse.
Uh,
That was the risk I ran.
it was. You had a very high stealth, didn't you? It was something like 8 DOS.
No, this one was only 4. I rolled kind of low.
Ah.
So, did they just find me?
We'll see.
Oh, great.
The short answer is yes, but they aren't going to do anything unless they have to.
Great.
See, y'all just stay cool, everybody. Stay cool.
Now, if I can remember where there it is. So, Amelie can slip back to rejoin you. So just zoom the camera over to your now furnished little room.
Boy, I can't wait.
This is the room that is traditionally assigned to those on the visiting crew that are absolutely 100% fucking but don't want to admit it. So they get the 2 single beds that slide together.
How thoughtful of them. And the cameras and monitoring devices.
Yes, but Eloa has already activated her signal jamming equipment.
Perfect.
I believe that was the end of last session.
Was. But we were not quite exactly in the middle of the room.
Yes, you were standing inside furniture objects, so I just moved you into a blob where you would not be inside of things. Feel free to arrange yourselves however you wish.
Is there like a meeting room out here or something, or a common room, or is this kind of it?
This is kind of it.
Okay. Fair enough then. I'll just I'm gonna drag this chair over so Tyrann has somewhere to sit, I guess. Sit myself on the desk.
All right. Sorry, just a moment, please.
I'll use the actual chair. I want the sister to be higher than me because he'll be shot first.
Let them strike me down. I will return more powerful than they can imagine.
You have no idea how accurate that is.
No, I literally do, Narcy. It's happened before.
I really wish I was conscious for that whole part of the mission.
I do too. That you were conscious. I remember. Mostly unfortunately.
Well, who knows? Maybe next time I
Which-
don't get my face blown off.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
The door slides open, and you see Marco leading Tyrann. She is quite clearly armed, but her weapons aren't drawn, and neither are Marco's. She does indeed appear to be coming, at least somewhat voluntarily, rather than all trussed up like a sanguinal bird.
I mean, I can't blame her. Anyone who had to go through an encounter with Father O would be scarred for life.
It's part of the reason why Graves is not telling me to simply kill her now. She pays greater penance in life.
Balti, you're blocking the door.
He knows.
I know he knows.
Well, here they are. She stops just at the door and takes a little sniff of the air. Signal jammers. I would advise if you want to talk, you'll turn those off.
We're not exactly advertising our purpose upon this planet, Tyrann. That's your name? I think that's your name. Or did I get my files wrong?
It is indeed.
Well then. I'm Narcy.
I
Pleased to
know,
meet you.
Darcy. You did. You know, it would be much more impressive that you knew my name if the lot of you had not introduced yourselves by name to.
Exactly, it's only
April.
polite. After all, we are serve the Emperor, do we not?
Indeed. Which is why I am telling you, disable the signal jammers. Unless you wish the full force of the Maguire household guard, rapidly followed by the Arbites and our own forces, to descend upon here seeking blood.
Oh, if they want to come here seeking blood, they're more than free to try. Try
Oh,
is the key word.
jammers. I believe the house knows our business now.
Oh, they probably do, but so eager to show our own trump cards.
Narcy, please, let's try and be civil.
I am being civil. Look at me.
Yes. Anyway. Hello, Tyrann. I would say it's good to see you, but this is equally as unexpected for you, as I'm sure it is. Or rather, unexpected for us, as I'm sure it is for you.
And you also can't really see.
Shut up. That's why.
I can't.
Yes. Well, in truth, I am quite pleased to see you. I didn't entirely expect it, but you're here and willing to talk. It is always a good day when one may make conversation with those that may be an enemy.
My thoughts exactly. I suppose you must not have gotten the memo yet, then. We're in the process of trying to, well, not trying to, just actually, having a bit of a peace summit with Lord Mercury. We've become a bit of pen pals recently. Unfortunately, we heard about a Eldar attack on the House Maguire's ship, and came here hoping to save the good captain from his kidnappers. And yet, strangely, the first time we were able to actually stop dealing with Mayor's bullshit and go hunt some Xenos, well, Juno just gesticulates helplessly.
So, you will have to explain how attempting to kidnap Master Hyserion leads to rescuing Lord Maguire.
We didn't... Alright, I'll take the blame on that one. We sent some bounty hunters here to get the captain. I don't know why they tried to kidnap Hyserion. That's sort of their own initiative thing. I suppose they either mistook him for the captain or is trying to get information. Either way, we had reason to believe that the Eldar were going to use the captain to infiltrate the planet and steal back whatever little psychic bauble is hidden in their archives. We were going to kidnap the captain right back, but alas.
Ah. Well. And here I thought that that was just your way of saying hello.
No, honest to the Emperor, we had no idea you were here. Right until you just walked in the front door. We thought we were having ourselves a nice, peaceful Xeno hunt.
I've no objection to you continuing. Just as I'm sure that you would take some interest in someone attempting to kidnap Lord Lupus's right hand, especially if they have previously been a foe. I think you can understand the situation I'm in.
Yes, no, of course, I don't blame you for your actions, protecting your, pause one, whatever your relation with Hyserion is.
Yes. So what is... I assume the psychic bauble is the little decoration in the trophy hall. It's the only Eldaria tech that Maguire has confessed to owning.
Yes, I believe so. It's screaming in agony down there, apparently. I imagine the Eldari want it back for whatever heretical mischief they can get up to with it. Or maybe just to tuck it back into bed, who knows.
Probably to fuck it.
Probably.
They do that a lot nowadays. But it's true.
Either way, no matter what their plans for it are, we perforce want to stop it. Luckily, it seems that we've arrived back on the planet before Maguire himself has, or any Eldari spies sent to replace him.
Yes. Oh. Most likely, at least. It's quite possible that it wasn't screaming in agony before, and that making it scream is exactly what they wanted to do. The Eldaria are like that.
I suppose anything's possible, but in the meantime, if you haven't rumbled us to the house, we have no particular reason to change our plans. In fact, being that you are loyal servants of the Emperor, we could even work together. It seems you have a very good working relation with the house. Could save us some steps.
Well, I suppose it is in my interest to. Maguire can't really work for us if he's being tortured in some Eldar sex pit.
Correct. Norkina's house helped my husband explore the Graildark Nebula later, which I've apparently talked us into. That will be fun.
Oh. We should swap notes on that, actually. We've had some expeditions ourselves. Mostly, everything in there is dead. Or pirates, in which case you have to make them dead first.
Sounds like a
Don't
fun
suppose you have any
time.
Tau running around in there.
I'm not the one who is meant to be controlling them. So, no, I can't say where they're based. Though, well, no, actually, the Graildark, I do know there is a small strike fleet there.
Ah, that's what I thought.
Wow,
Frank was
so
ever
much
so
about it.
convinced he had a whole fleet ready to come and bombard Schindelgeist back to the Stone Age.
Ah,
I assume Marco told you about what happened.
only in the briefest measures.
Yes, another time we
Another-
weren't even looking for your little group. We'd just stopped by on the planet to pick up some refreshments, really, and all of a sudden we find ourselves being hailed by one of your cells, looking for help stopping a chaos plot they were themselves orchestrating. Really quite frustrating. Really,
Shame about the moon, though.
twitches slightly. Yes, well, that makes 2 out of 4 planets we've gone to lately where we've accidentally bumped into your group. Really, we have to stop meeting like this.
Indeed.
Well, given that we inevitably will not, I shall send out a missive. At future, all of our cells must be equipped with an advance reservation for a very nice restaurant to take you to.
Oh, that would be darling. I'll be sure to bring some lovely Lethan wine.
Oh yes, how is that little side project of yours?
Oh, it's going swimmingly after killing the Dark Magos Chaos Boy. We liberated the planet and have brought it back to Imperial compliance per all regulations.
Oh, King actually went off the deep end, then. That's a shame.
Oh, entirely.
Oh, thank you for cleaning him up when you did.
I suppose I should say you're welcome. Though you must understand how that does make your organization look, having killed one of Reeves' what was he, an interrogator, and now you've had 2 practitioners of chaos in your ranks.
Yes, I would say it makes us look like a perfectly ordinary Ordo Malleus inquisitorial faction.
I'd like to throw a snippy remark there, but yeah, we actually have a lot of incidents like this happening. It's embarrassingly common.
Well, could you maybe stop, please? I'd really like to just go back to hunting Xenos.
Well, I can assure you that I am not here to do anything even moderately deviant.
I'm sure you're not, but it seems the people who work for you in Mayror have a tendency to keep, falling off the deviant deep end.
I mean, it's not like they're going to try to overthrow the local planetary government without technology this time. That was only one sleep up.
Well, no, in that case, the planetary governor is questionably competent at best, and most of her intermediary agents are utterly inept.
I mean, that's an improvement from the usual situation in these godforsaken planets. Probably high praise coming from you.
Oh, yes, it's only an improvement because of how far everything has fallen. We are trying to fix that, you realize.
Yes, but despite everyone's best efforts, everything just seems to be getting worse.
What
God,
is your plan for fixing things? Well, now I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself with Lord Mercury, but you could just explain what the hell it is you're doing so we can get out of each other's hairs.
Well, the main goal, really, destabilize the current environs such that those who are as incompetent as they appear fail and are ultimately replaced by their betters. Create the occasion so that the heroes may rise to it. Which, I must say, Moab proved to be a resounding success. She inclines her head to the lot of you.
Right. Well, be that as it may, the methodology your associates have been employing is, I'm not even going to say borderline heretical, it just was on Leth, and then I'm not going to blame you for the Frank thing, but really, if all I can really ask is that you keep a better handle on your agents. Between them being replaced by invasion of the body snatcher marines or becoming chaos cultists and ripping a hole in space and time, it's very difficult, even when we're just fucking about trying to kill pirates, not to end up having to sidetrack onto fixing your shit.
But, you see, that is where an issue lies. That, for us, is a positive.
Ugh.
It's providing more instances for those who will prove to be the Imperium's saviors to temper themselves into better agents of the throne.
He knows he has a point.
Yes, I'm aware of the point, but still, the number of lives that are being sacrificed for that goal is rather unacceptable, especially on Schindelgeist. Putting us in a
How does it?
position where we had to blow up the moon and rain half of that onto the planet. Listen, if you keep this up, there's not going to be an Imperium left to protect.
To be honest, the demon was not really the insurrection and the demons are kind of on different levels.
They are, but she's still calling it a positive.
Hmm.
And there's nothing positive about killing billions of Imperial citizens just to save another few billions. If we keep playing that game, eventually we're all going to be huddled back in a few mud huts on Terra, clinging to the Golden Throne and hoping the Emperor wakes back up.
The Omnissiah has ascended to his throne. There is no need for him to reawaken.
That would be ideal if he could just be left alone, yes, but that's the point I'm making. If we keep this up, Juno's going to gesture at her own bandages. He's already had to get involved once. More than once, really, if you count Leth. I think I'd prefer this to...
Talking in circles at this point.
We're
To
not.
rest-
We're really not.
Arguing over moot points, I doubt either of us will be persuaded.
She's correct there.
Listen, if you want to stir up shit and get heroes made, that's fine, I suppose. All we're trying to ask is that you contain yourselves a bit, so that something like Schindelgeist doesn't happen, or Leth. I know you weren't there, and I doubt your organization's heard the full reports, but your king fellow gave the Tau warp engines, and they broke space and time. Again, with your hero making points, but if we hadn't been there or been marginally less competent, the whole planet probably would have been swallowed. Even as it stands, a lot of people died that didn't need to, and just for our vainglorious rise. You just find Xenos for us to go out and kill, and start up a crusade or some planet that's fallen to chaos already you can point us at.
Hmm.
But you see, the problem there is that while heroes will arise to those, all the worlds left behind will just continue their slide into decadence, and it'll get even faster if we send all of the heroes elsewhere to go and die on a crusade. Consider what happened with Macarius that led directly into the Reign of Blood.
There are different
Oh.
kinds of heroes, though, aren't there? There are those martial heroes like our Graves and Amelie here, who are best put to use leading crusades against Xenos and heretics outside the Empire, and there are those like myself or Baltus who'd be better suited to administrative tasks and leadership. People who don't need to have their worlds pummeled by moon rocks or shat into time holes.
We are not heroes. We're inquisitors of the Ordo Xenos. We are gardeners pulling out weeds.
Graves is pretty heroic to me.
I'm arguing semantics right now. I'm sorry, please do go on.
Any inquisitor that considers themselves a hero might as well fall on their sword immediately.
I tried that. It didn't stick.
Amazed.
Well, you may be right in that some of you are suited for different things, but she looks to Narcia. Since when did administrative competence actually lead to being trusted with senior administrative positions?
Oh, trust me, never. Absolutely never. It's not about how competent you are, it's about what political connections you have in the administration of the Imperium. It always has been. They always put the ones that pass through their own little silly bills and that allocate the funds when they're asked to, not the ones that can actually do their job right. If the ones that were doing their job right were at the proper positions, they probably would be here. I was a bureaucrat before all of this.
Yes. So,
Which is why I can see your point, Tyrann.
So I will admit that in some cases, our agents have gone completely insane and overstepped their marks. But I do rather say that there are an awful lot of people that we do need to kill. And if we can kill them in a way that elevates worthy replacements, then that is a time-saving measure.
Right, sure. And that's the thing. I really don't care if you cause a little chaos and bump off incompetent lords and bureaucrats. If it's for the good of the Emperor, which, to be fair, having seen what happened on Vindalex, no offense, Eloa, but they did nuke themselves. Putting people of actual competence in positions of authority is fine. But if you could just contain yourselves, put a little more oversight on your agents and operations, so that Leth and Schindelgeist don't happen again. You don't get actually just infiltrated by Chaos Space Marines. And I'm sure we can sort ourselves out. I've already even gotten Reeve to admit that sending Tau to fight humanity's battles is perfectly fine, as long as the Tau die in the process. See, we can find common ground. Middle ground on which we can all just stand on and agree, and not keep fucking with each other forever.
Oh. This was a surprisingly productive visit.
Indeed.
I know, right? You didn't get bisected or anything.
That would have been quite a costly mistake for you. Yes.
Her vitals are being actively transmitted.
Sorry, my only relationship towards you is my Master Graves, who was sworn to kill you after what happened with Ro.
Oh,
See?
bro.
More common ground we can find.
What did actually happen, bro?
Oh, he stabbed me while we were teleporting, and when I came to, he had stripped me naked, killed several of my guards, and committed suicide with a fragmentation grenade.
Wow, I didn't know you could tell jokes.
That does actually sound a lot like what Ro would do.
It is an accurate depiction.
A truly bizarre moment is that one of the vids we found that the remains of one of the guards. I'm afraid we took it with us. We didn't leave it for you. You would have probably found it quite amusing. Ro decided to put my clothes on himself.
You're shitting me.
That's-
Were you wearing
I
like a
am-
battle armor or something?
I am entirely unsurprised.
She just opens her coat to reveal a almost perfectly form-fitting black body glove. Pretty much exactly the same as this.
That doesn't tell me anything. With the
Wait,
technology
hold,
people have,
hold
that could
on.
be the most durable thing in this room.
Are you... This is going to sound a bit weird, but are you wearing fishnets under there? Because Ro was, and I'm going to be honest, I thought this whole time he was just been wearing those the whole time.
Oh, no, that's just the way this fabric tears if you stretch it too much.
Oh,
He was an insane zealot, but highly amusing.
Why do I feel like Dave told me a completely different version of Ro than all the rest of you know?
Well, you know what,
look,
Ro?
I didn't
It's gonna
feel
sound bad, but the man did have brain damage from an arc grenade, so this kind of makes sense, but also not.
I just
Also-
thought he liked wearing women's clothes.
I mean, I like wearing women's clothes.
You are
I
a
mean,
woman.
so do I, but
What does gender have to do with it?
excuse me. I'm gonna need a moment.
Giggles before that's own trolling.
I wear armor and nothing besides.
If you want a Magos, I would ask if that chafed.
My skin is synthetic.
Precisely.
I can tell you Sororitas power armor chafes after about 20 minutes. I'd imagine wearing that all day.
I pity you, your armor, and your weak flesh.
Don't worry, I'm sure I'll lose more of it before long.
Do try not to, it's quite charming.
Oh, thank you. You know, give a genuine smile. Say. Speaking of charming, though, unless you have anything to say in the negative about our discussion of previous topics, perhaps we should turn our attention to the Eldar issue that is plaguing both your and my operation.
Yes. I assume it's, well, his ship is here, so I assume it is Lord Reeve himself who is, searching for any webway gates.
You'll pause for a moment. I assume that's what he's doing. He doesn't tell me anything. Hello, is that what?
Our hopes of finding a webway gate are really, really low, but we are actively keeping an eye out for one.
Okay, that is what we're doing. Yes.
Yes. Whoever his administrative agent is, they are quite good at covering it up, but there is only so much you can do when you are the only one looking through archaeological files for the past 500 years.
Makes sense. I do hope your organization won't be interfering with them. Then,
Oh, no. We were monitoring it, of course, because it's unusual activity, Really quite unusual. As I said, 500 years. But just looking in and of itself, we would take no issue with, and well, now we know the hows and whys. If anything, I'll just direct my people to assist.
That would be much appreciated. If McGuire's ship has returned, then we have limited time before the Eldar make a move. And unfortunately, when they do, I fear the good captain's life will no longer be of particular value to them, unless he's proved amusing in the sex pits.
What was the circumstance of his capture?
An Eldar ship ambushed his while we believe he was digging up the Tau ruins that Lord Mercury pointed us to.
Oh,
Like I said, we're pen pals now. He was attacked. We sent our fleet to go and provide assistance, but by the time we arrived, the Eldar ship and the whatever his ship name here were both gone, and there was a wog in progress on poor Savior.
so I think I do have to slightly correct your memory there.
Okay, go for it.
His ship wasn't gone. His ship had been crippled and they had lost contact with
Sorry.
him.
Yes, of course.
But yeah,
Yes.
the ship itself was still there last you heard.
Sorry. Yes, the
And by gone, we mean
Eldari ship had
destroyed.
vanished. The House McGuire vessel was crippled, and their captain was nowhere to be found, at least by our forces. It's the grain of truth, that's it. So we assumed that they would be heading here with their captive captain to liberate their artifact, and made all haste here. Plus, as I'm sure you can tell from Lord Reeve's ship, we're not exactly equipped to handle an orc invasion. Not much help we could be there.
Well, it's not well armored, but you have several dedicated troop bays, and it's the smallest ship I've ever seen with drop pod capabilities.
Yes, unfortunately, our troops were in the other direction on the way here. Thank you, Eloa. So we just sent our Imperial Navy ships there to deal with the issue. More their speed.
Yes. They
You
will.
said the grain of truth has returned to orbit on this planet.
No, I didn't.
I thought she did. She said... Oh, she meant Reeves' ship was in orbit. Duh, I'm retarded. Never mind. Retract that. So, do you have any idea when Lord McGuire, or if Lord McGuire has returned, or any sign of some ship of his, other than the grain of truth, perhaps?
Beyond the one that brought Master Hyserion here a few weeks hence, no. The Maguire fleet is not particularly large. The grain of truth, and then a half-dozen frigates and similar escorts.
Well then, as I said earlier, it seems that we have the advantage of having arrived before the Eldar, and can make necessary preparations.
Indeed. A question for you, though. You said the artifact was screaming. Anything you can be more... were there any details to it, or just a wordless cry of pain?
Yes, it was speaking words.
Wasn't Baltus the one that discovered that?
No, that was me. I'm the wizard.
Oh,
Look at me. Look at me. I'm the wizard now. Yes, the thing was screaming, the prison hungry time pain save the prison hungry time pain save the... It just repeats after that. Really quite horrible, too. Like a child being murdered, which... Adult Xenos being murdered is fine, I suppose, but children screaming into your head is rather distressing, no matter the species.
That's what they want you to believe.
Yes,
There's
I'm
no
sure
way
that
to think
child
of it.
was older than all of us put together, but still.
Do not consider them as children. They're just larvae.
We'll consider that
What
for a
I
moment.
could.
That does make it better. Yes.
Wait, wouldn't that make them babies and this worse?
No, it
that
makes them
disgusting
insects.
insects needing to be crushed.
Dehumanizes them. That makes it easier.
they were never human to begin with.
Well, yes, but never mind. Really need to learn to stop arguing semantics.
You also really need to learn to harden your heart.
No.
You'll go mad.
Yes, well, be that as it may, I'll spend every moment until that time doing everything I can to help the Imperium with all my heart.
Actually, in my opinion, while my friend Juno over here needs to work on many things, like getting more husbands, her heart is the one thing that has been utterly flawless. If not for her, the last incident you guys set up would have gone even worse.
The strangest battle sister I have ever met.
She's a hospitalier, so she's nicer than most.
It's not my fault that the most powerful weapon I've found to be in my arsenal is a good heart and good hope. I'll reach over and just pat Marco on the back. Can even turn foes to friends with a little work.
I
Weapon?
care not for these semantics. I wish to find my enemy.
Well, they're not here yet.
Exactly. We have to wait.
That we know.
I suppose that is fair.
Well, you may not have had the opportunity to do much of it, but you are the alien hunters. What do we do to prepare for them?
Against the Eldar? For basic strategy against the Eldar, you go to the primer. However, that is mostly propaganda. I will access my records. Merzendi, for researching successful endeavors against the Eldar in the Halo worlds by the Halo stars by the Lade worlds. Depths of knowledge difficulty?
Successful one was probably a -10.
Okie dokie. And with my other implants, that means it's a flat roll. Narcia, you want to help me out?
I mean, I would love to. But I might have a better chance at this roll, seeing as I have Xenosavant on the back.
Fair enough. Then I'll just roll at a 0. What? But I clicked the button. Uh, no, I clicked the button. It's not working. I'll do it again. I'll buy in. Oh no, I can't buy in. I'll just re-roll.
This is my turn to throw in my big. Yeah,
It's the exact same roll.
let me help you out here. So basically, the Elder have some stealth tech that can make even our Archaeotech stealth technology and Tau stealth technology look like children's toys. But they tend to be quite psychically active. So, since literally all Tau are quite psychically active, yeah, they might be able to hide from our eyeballs, but I have good feelings about not having them not hide from Psychers if we have any of them around. Unless, of course, they have accounted for that, which they usually do because they are obnoxiously competent.
So, Narcia, yeah, all of that is absolutely accurate. But in the context of what you were looking for, how you actually beat the Eldar, your best way is to... There are 2 ways you can do it. First way does require you to already know where the Eldar are. You just throw shit at the wall and improvise. The second way, which is a lot harder, is find what the Eldar want and make them desperate enough to just go into whatever trap you lay. But even then, they will know exactly what the trap is. At least if they are employing any trained psychers.
Oh yeah, did I mention the Elder can, in certain circumstances, literally see into the future? A very good way I can think of fucking with them is by letting them get their hands on, I'm just gonna come out and say it, the piece of wraithbone that is out in the hall, but then setting a secondary trap that springs and explodes in their face. So their sightseers see up to the point of the triumph, get cocky as shit, grab it, and then die horribly on their way back. But thinking that far ahead is quite difficult, especially against such an elusive enemy. Yes, they're all very obnoxiously psychic, all of them. It's quite annoying, but some are even more than others. So we either hope they don't have the ability to see too far ahead, make the Wraithbone seem unguarded, and then just shoot the shit out of them, or make it look heavily guarded, but with a few big security flaws, have them snatch it, and then have the actual tramps bring them on their way out. Have to
If
play some
necessary.
40 chess bullshit against the Tau and the Elda.
If necessary, I can have my troops create a localized rad storm. No matter how fast you are, you cannot escape the holy radiation.
Isn't this planet a bit populated for a radiation storm?
Localized.
How localized is localized?
Merz, how localized do radium rifles create a rad storm?
Depends how many radium rifles. It can be from as little as like 3 meters to very big.
Give me a second. I don't remember how many you gave me.
300.
I have to... No, they don't all have radium rifles.
Well, that's comforting.
No, 60 have radium carbines, 30 have radium Jezzails, 30 have Volkites, 30 have transuranic Arbicuses, and 30 have plasma calivers. So 6, 7, 8, 9. 90 Merzendi. I don't think it's in the rules. I think you need to make it up yourself. Because I'm looking in beep boops and there's nothing about it.
Give me a moment. Let's see.
Oh no. Bob, no, you're porn. Yeah, sorry, Merzendi. I'm double checking, and all it says is each weapon's bullet cylinder is so thoroughly.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So 90 is approximately 2 to the power of 6.5.
We do have a math boy if you want help.
Yeah, but I'm kind of better.
Oh, okay.
Man, the books for this game really are just horrible to navigate.
They for sure. They hurt my brain.
Does anyone know where hexagrammatic wards are? Just what fucking book?
Enemies Beyond, I believe.
Oh, it's just there. God damn it.
So,
No,
damn, the Eliminator's a
no,
cutie.
it's not. It's enemies within page 49.
Thank you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because that's where the Sisters of Battle are from.
Of course.
Yeah, but
Yep.
hexagrammatic wards are primarily useful against demons.
Yeah, I know.
But you see,
But
the Sisters of Battle are meant to fight demons, so... Or
Yeah,
at least
I
Chaos
clicked
Boys.
I literally clicked over to enemies within, and that was a page I was on because that was the last thing I was looking up.
Fair enough. Yeah. Um. Yeah. If you had all 90 of them firing, you could get up to like a 3-kilometer radius of Radstorm at maximum.
Holy shit.
With all of my troops together, 3 kilometers.
With my 19, do I know what the effects of radiation are actually on these abominable Xenos? Fucks them up real bad, right?
Less so than humans, but yeah.
Well,
Gonna turn to
3
Eloa.
kilometers. That's pretty good. I mean, the Eldar are not nearly as vulnerable to radiation, but it'll still fuck them up real bad.
Eldar have resistance radiation?
Mechanically, no, but in flavor, yeah, they are less vulnerable to shit like that than people.
Oh, that's weird. I thought that was just orcs. And, obviously Necrons, which are just straight up immune.
Gonna turn to Eloa and say, "You can't see it, but I'm blinking in distress. 3 kilometers is a bit big."
You would find yourselves being murdered by the rest of the planet's nobility.
Yeah.
Only the max. That is the maximum output. I can, of course, adjust.
Oh, good.
Was it supposed to have a nuclear option?
No, the nuclear option is going to get a nuke, but rather avoid
Why?
that again.
Why settle with a nuke? If we want a nuclear option, we call down a Nova Cannon shell.
I like the way she thinks.
I'd really rather avoid destroying House McGuire's house if we can avoid it. Shooting up the place, killing some Eldar is bad enough.
Oh, indeed. But if you want to have a let's go all out option, then there is nothing better than phoning up my friend aboard the Herald of Wrath.
Should that name mean something to us, or is that just the name of the ship?
When you first entered this system, yes, it was in part of a read aloud. It's an Imperial Navy battleship.
Ah, okay. I thought that sounded familiar. Juno will just kind of nod sagely. Well, I suppose if things come to that, that is an option. I'd like to put that, sort of pretend to take a pin out overhead and put it down near your feet. Way down here on the list of options, though. All the way down.
Agreed.
Speaking of which, Merz, and now her friends being my friends, can I make that charm check? And success or fail, I'd also like to do a Cynicians at her to make sure she's not a Chaos Marine, because I have trust issues now.
Sure. You can indeed roll it.
Alright.
Or just master it if you want.
Well, I might as well try and raw dog it first. See, that's basically how good mastery would have been. Now, 1 toss less, but I'll save a fate point. And now, Cynicians. I'll buy into that. Because again, I have trust issues.
Alright. You detect no etheric disturbances around Tyrann. As far as you can tell, she is as she presents herself.
Oh, good. How's that aura looking now that we're not threatening to stab each other or call down armies? She relaxing?
A bit. It's a sort of... There's quite a bit of smug there to it as well. It's self-satisfaction. But at the same time, it's tempered with a... It's weighed down a little, I suppose would be a better way of putting it. Elements of just small amounts of uncertainty.
Okay.
Likely you're doing.
Excellent. I'll take it. I'll take it. Right. So, presupposing that the Eldar will be coming here to the house, and that we would prefer not to have to reduce the neighborhood to rubble with a Nova cannon. The vaults do have some security measures. If we could beef those up, make the Eldar come to us, well, that would certainly give us at least some advantage to equal out their bullshit wizardry.
Good luck with that.
What do you suggest, Narcy? You're the explicator.
Well, I had an idea, but it would be very hard, if not impossible, to pull off, and they have a lot of a lot of fail points. Like just camping here and waiting to shoot them when they round the corner. So, assuming the worst, this Eldar can probably see into the future. Probably. It's a very rare skill amongst the people, but they have it nonetheless. And if we had to account for them, there were two precautions I would take if I had more resources at my disposal. First is how they locate this thing. If they just locate it by using psychic abilities, then it's kind of fucked. We go straight to step 2. If not, intercept whatever information channels they might have been using, infiltrate them, and give them the actual position of this wonderful artifact, but have it be only lightly trapped. So after they steal it and they foresee their success, they foresee themselves stealing it with their bullshit space magic, then the actual trap is sprung on their way out when they're trying to exfiltrate the planet. At which point we slaughter all of them.
So,
That requires a lot of foresight, a lot of pre-planning, and the ability for us to be also able to see into the future.
problem. Well, at
Lots of
least with
problems.
the first part. They presumably already know where the artifact is because of the captain.
Questioning the captain, yes, I already knew that.
So,
But
are you
let's say they
suggesting we
have to
move?
rely on human informants, which they probably don't. We could move it. We could put them on a wild school chase and force them to use fake informant networks. But of course, that would take too long. It's something that takes literal months of planning and rehearsing. It seems so good in my mind.
Well, moving it's not a bad idea. If we put it, say, on, I don't know, an Imperial battleship or the Inquisitor's flagship, well, then every advantage is on our court. At least until they blow the side of the ship out and suck the thing into space and net it, but
I mean, I somehow don't think they'd wait that much. I mean, obviously, if we hastily take it into space, yeah, they will try to board us, much like they did the other ship. But Eldar, they're known for many things. Their patience is fortunately not one of them.
really,
To
as
pull the dread
immortals, I thought they'd be quite the opposite.
It really depends. There have been many, many Eldar in history. Some of them, yes, they were patient, they were prudent. Others, not so much. Usually the ones that are patient and prudent get a bunch of enemies right up to their doorstep. Because they had the vain hope that they would get them to infight with one another. And then look horribly surprised when they figure out that everyone is uniting against them. And while others that were not as patient, well, they just get themselves gunned down. It's really a melting pot. You know what would be nice right now? Someone that can peer into the future. That solves so many problems.
Quick, let's all go read the tarot.
Unfortunately, I am quite sure that Baltus is not that kind of psyker.
Nonsense. Baltus, get the tarot cards out.
Oh, okay.
So Baltus just gets the tarot cards out and is like, oh, wow, spooky skeleton card.
He's like, I've been
Oh,
waiting the whole campaign for this shit.
So you say that, but remember, Baltus has used the Emperor's Tarot multiple times and failed every single one of them.
Yeah.
I'm only half-jokingly saying it.
It's a good thing we've learned not to trust Maltese foresight.
Would you like to fake that?
No, it's perfect.
How many fate points do you have, Bobo?
4.
I mean, you can re-roll it if you want, but I kind of really want you to do 100, and you just lift up a card and look. Look, I'm making the skeleton dance.
Oh, what a delightful fellow.
Let's just see if I can. Oh,
And it's less
Well,
bad.
it's not a crit fail.
I was trying to get 100.
Baltus, based on your best divination, which you can deduce from the tarot, is the Emperor saying, stop being stupid. No, really, you're being stupid.
This is the best 200 XP I've ever spent. Okay.
Sadly, the Emperor is not in a particularly talkative mood, and the cards are not willing to inform you what it is you're being stupid about, or really who it is that's being stupid amongst you. It could be all of you. It could be just one of you. It could even be Tyrann that he's yelling at. The cards are vague. The future is murky and full of spiders.
Wait, what?
Future's always full of spiders when Eloa was around.
Oh
Yeah.
god, they're gonna be teleporting all over the place. Oh, that reminds me. Some Eldar can even teleport short distances very reliably.
Can they teleport a giant chunk of Wraithbone out?
Well, I mean, there are this ones called spiders, and yeah, they could absolutely teleport in, grab and teleport out. Shit, I forgot about those. And they're very annoying to fight. We should definitely start moving, or at least trapping the Wraithbone. And maybe renewing the hexes on it.
A question. Can their warp spiders pierce void shielding?
That's something they haven't managed yet.
So maybe bringing it onto the ship isn't a bad idea after all. I will.
Yeah,
If they can't teleport through void shields, they'll have to actually send a craft in to board us manually, and in so doing, we put us in a position where we can fight them. Gesture towards huge power armor, McPower Fist, and Amelie.
Yes, bring them closer so I can hit them with my swords.
I was actually more thinking installing a generator
Oh,
here,
well, that
and
works.
when they enter, activating it so they can't leave so easily.
Oh, that's even better.
yeah, it's actually a much better idea. And the best thing about this is that if they're on planet and not in space, that means they cannot. It'll be even harder for them to escape because this is a planet full of humans in a very heavily armored and armed area full of nobles that I would quite like to see them dead and skinned. No matter which way they try to run, they'll be shot at.
I'm going to summon my Triaros.
And then, yeah, also those will be around. How
Okay, but why do you?
delightful.
Okay, but why do you sound so aroused while describing it?
I've never gotten to kill an Eldar. Not directly or indirectly before in my life. This is going to be a new and exciting experience.
Well, can't say I'm going to damper anyone's excitement to do the Emperor's work, so you do you.
Well, if you have the ability to secure a void shield generator and can get the Master of the House's permission, or I suppose his agent, to install it over his archive, then that would certainly give the Eldar a nasty surprise, or at least limit their options if they can see into the future.
Mm. Yes. And speaking of options, I may be wrong here, but I believe that the Eldari Farseers, as they call them, they do not see a concrete future, they see a web of possibilities. If they do this, then it leads to others doing X, Y, Z.
Yeah, which is why I had the whole thing in my mind. Ah, yes, we let them steal it the first time, but we somehow lead them into another place where they won't be able to escape from. But that's the problem. If they steal it the first time, what's preventing them from just whizzing away? That's the part that has always just been giving me a most terrific headache.
Somewhere out there is a DCL yelling, being mad about wizards who teleport away from battles. I feel like this is what that energy is.
Mm-hmm.
No, if we feel in particular spiteful, we could put a couple of crack grenades, all pointed to the middle of this wonderful piece of wraithbone.
Yes. Once they're here, threatening the artifact would be a useful means of accelerating their attack.
And it certainly would prevent them from escaping immediately, buy us some time to gun them down. They have to disable bombs. That can work. So, void shields, bombs. The vault security measures are already decent enough. Hexagrammatic wards everywhere. And we just need a plan of attack to go in and slaughter them without their zippy fast swordsmen tearing us apart.
Oh, that's where I come in.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Well, if they have zippy fast swordsmen, then I just need to be a zippier and faster swordsman than them.
Amelie, darling,
She's
no offense, but that's the logic that got Graves turned into a hulking Terminator suit with a brain.
But technically, he hasn't lost a fight yet.
Jeez, slaughter my sense of humor, why don't you? Okay, fair point though.
I mean,
Look, if you want to hear about how I actually plan to take care of them, I've been getting a lot better at stealthing.
so
I don't
you want
plan to give.
just hide in there and ambush them.
I mean, I don't plan on giving them the chance to swing back. We'll do a
How
little bit of
many-
dishonor to Graves, but there's Xenos.
How many do you think you can kill in a single surprise strike? I doubt there'll be just one warlock slipping inside.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. It hasn't been a while. It's been ever since I fought an alien.
Hmm.
To be frank, I don't know what I'm in for, but I can't say I'm worried. I spend my entire life preparing for battles I might fight, so this is just another Tuesday.
Amelie, alright, well,
I understand it's not much of a plan, but honestly, when you're talking about competent swordsmen, without knowing their exact location and when, you can't really have much of a better plan than beat them.
I suppose, but still, finding some way to hide a few guards or armed servitors in the vault to soften them up or distract them from our actual assault force going in would be ideal.
I mean, of course.
I do believe.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go.
No, you.
I do believe that Lord Maguire still has
Whoa,
those
what the fuck?
statues of the Holy Nine.
Yes, quite lovely. You wish to arm them or hide someone inside them.
A temporary replacement with a battle automata, perhaps? Though I suppose that does rely upon you having a some battle automata. And she looks at Eloa.
All right. Say that again. Also, I might need to stand up pretty quick. I think my tacos are here.
Suggesting you could replace the statues with battle automata if you had any.
Oh,
Sadly,
no.
you do not have any, but she does not know this.
I guess that's also the second problem in making battle plans. I don't exactly know what we can have.
Forgive me if I do not explain to you my entire complement of troops, but no, I do not have any battle automata.
Unfortunate.
I actually was considering it, but then I was like, but what about a bunch of Skitarii?
Alright, so you can go grab your tacos now.
Arrives in 1 minute.
Fair enough. Well, that would be a problem. I don't suppose anyone has any Ogryns that are trained to impersonate statues.
Isn't that just every Ogryn?
Baltus, just stand very, very still.
I suppose we could hire some Ogryn. He'd probably be more forthcoming than a squad of whatever a battle automaton is.
Incorrect.
Oh.
I can directly link with and control automatons. Ogryns are...
By forthcoming, I meant easy to buy.
And
I was joking about Ogryns. They are quite large, smelly, and preponderant to fidgeting. They wouldn't pass for statues even to a child.
I know,
They're also
but I'd really like to
afraid
have
of
some pet Ogryns.
Really?
Listen, considering the shit we get up to, I can't exactly go hiring a bunch of Sororitas to accompany us around. Ogryns would be a lovely force multiplier for just giving them a sweet smile and telling them to go kill our enemies.
Ogryns are also typically afraid of enclosed spaces, so good luck transporting them anywhere.
Also, be very careful bringing them in graves. You still get jumpy about that kind of thing.
What? Alright. Is there anything Graves wasn't molested by on his planet?
I don't know, but I had to duel him after getting these ears.
How do you even
Molested is...
survive an Ogryn?
Please don't use that word.
Recover
Either.
from?
His word was just a little bit more hardcore than that.
Look, I know what I'm suggesting. It's just I'm deeply concerned about why an Ogryn was bad touching Graves.
It wasn't. Graves just doesn't seem to care for much animal life in period.
Are you aware what an Ogryn actually is?
Okay, out of character, no.
It's an ogre. That's
Why
it.
is
It's
it
just an
called...
ogre.
Oh, what? Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm thinking of orcs. I was like, why didn't you just call it an orc then? No, ogre. Ogre. They have
Yeah,
layers.
Yeah.
Ogryn.
No. This is a very funny image in my mind.
Yeah, Amelie doesn't know what an Ogryn is, so she thinks it's just some sort of horrible animal. It's like, alright.
Link.
here,
Doesn't
I'll put
work.
it in I'll put it in
Oh.
VCT.
Yeah, no, I assumed it was a fucking animal for some reason.
No, they're mutated humans.
Imagine Graves getting molested by those.
Yeah, that's why Juno was like, oh god. Ow.
Wait, where'd you put this?
Why? It's in
Find this
VCT.
absolutely
Okay.
hilarious.
Oh, those guys. Oh, that's just called being that's just called being guts. It's like Berserk chapter or 2.
Yeah, but Guts wasn't the one fucking other people. He was the one
No.
being fucked.
No, that's the point. Look at him. It turned out great for him. He's only constantly surrounded by hell and, politically depressed.
I was hoping that wasn't the same one, but it was.
Alright. Well, can we perhaps rig up some sort of automated weapons system or remote control to just sit on the statues? Replace their bolters with cannon of some kind.
That does not sound implausible.
Yes, buy a few, an autocannon or something, and rig it up in there. If we disguise it well, the Farseer may not realize it's anything other than part of the statue, even with future sight. I don't understand this meme.
Yes, that is quite inspired, actually. Even if a Farseer you literally see it attacking them, that would look precisely like a prophetic metaphor. The statues of the Primarchs coming, just shooting them. Yeah, that just makes it look like they need to be worried about a Starter's intervention.
I mean, Juno, you have enough influence. You could just call in the Death Watch.
Well, we could call in the Death Watch, but I don't know that they'd get here in time from where it is they are, so...
Yes. No watch fortresses in the sector, unfortunately.
I thought there was a watch fortress in every sector. This is out of character, of course, as was the earlier thing with me suggesting the Death Watch.
Yes. Yeah. It's one of those things that's inconsistent, but the most reliable lore I have found is that there is after the Flame Falcons, there is no permanent Astartes presence in the Gothic sector at all.
There's no fucking worlds that give Imperial. The Gothic sector sucks.
Yeah.
That's because it's meant for spaceship fights, not for ground battles, so who cares about Space Marines? They're the lamest Imperial faction in space.
I just want to cuddle up to Admiral Spire.
Well,
unfortunately, you'll never be able to.
He's currently lost in the warp.
Well, no, Eloa will live basically forever. She can live back to Indomitus when he comes back.
Yeah, but I don't think in Gothic 2 he ever actually goes to the Gothic sector again. He's fucking busy, much closer to Cadia.
Yeah, he and the very beginning of the game, he translates out of the warp, hears that Cadia's fallen, and then it was like, oh, all right, time to go fuck around there.
I mean, as you do.
Yes. And then, unfortunately, his campaign ending is most assuredly non-canon.
Despite the fact that it was well written and pretty badass.
Yeah. It's just that it includes him killing Abaddon, which we know doesn't happen. Abaddon is still, masturbating with the ashes of Cadia.
Unless...
Look, if Games Workshop decides to just out of nowhere say, oh yeah, Abaddon, the big leader of our main antagonist faction for years and years and years, basically since we started the setting. We permanently killed him off in this video game that most of you have never played.
It's not like anyone liked Abaddon to begin with.
This is fair.
Accurate.
I need to step away real quick.
Exactly, he's failed it.
Someone, so...
He's
Good, I
never
was going to
actually
refill my
succeeded
drink
at
anyway.
anything meaningful other than Cadia, I guess. Which, I don't know if that was even his fault.
We have
It was.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Literally... He also basically won the 12th Black Crusade. He got driven off, but he captured half of the Blackstone fortresses and destroyed the other half.
It was a Pyrrhic victory.
And then, at Cadia, he took one of those Blackstone fortresses and he rammed it into the planet until the planet cracked.
The planet broke before the guard did.
That's the only meme I know about Cadia.
Yeah, I will be right back.
But yeah, basically he actually did fail at trying to invade Cadia, got butt mad, and just rammed an entire space station into it.
Yep, sounds about right.
So he sacrificed one of his Blackstone fortresses just to crack Cadia. And
Oh.
he didn't even kill Creed. Creed's
Oh.
currently being a living statue with Trazen the Infinite.
To be fair, breaking Cadia seems to have been a pretty net massive win for Chaos, considering whole butthole across the galaxy they made after that.
Yep.
So, okay, I guess Abaddon did do something good eventually. Well, for Chaos.
And it cost him a lot.
I mean,
I
I think
mean,
a Blackstone Fortress for the Eye of Terror becoming, like, galaxy-sized is pretty worth TBH.
Well, it cut the Imperium in half, but the Indomitus Crusade basically contained the 13th Black Crusade.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was really hoping that it wouldn't be Gilliman that woke up. I was really hoping that
You really think it would be anyone else but the blueberries?
Yeah, I know, but I was really, really hoping that maybe they'd pull something around and then,
Dorn?
No.
Could have been Volk.
Maybe the Space Wolves?
No.
There are no other options. You know it.
No, there is.
And they're never gonna bring Count back.
Lionel Johnson.
No, he's dead.
No, he's not.
He's dead inside. Because he's a fucking massive edgelord.
He's just taking a nap. And
Just
I
a
really
massive
wanted
edgelord.
and I really wanted him to bring the Imperium back, but it had to be Gilliman.
It had to be Gilliman. But hey, it turns out he's actually a really cool character, so it's fine.
They
He also
did
has a
a
fucking
ton.
thick elder waifu.
They once he got out of the grip of Matt Ward, they did a ton of character development with him, which I was surprised at.
actually, they've done quite a bit for the, of course, more for the blueberries, but they did quite a bit for the Ultramarines in general as well.
I mean, the low riding was rock bottom. They couldn't do any worse even if they tried.
Yeah, they gave them like actual personalities, basically.
Yeah, that's what they needed.
That's what. Yeah, they definitely,
what-
especially for Goleman, but
Or the thing that no one would have expected, Jagatai Khan comes back.
What are Space Marines?
And is the best.
he just jumps back on his bike and ride. Wow, you guys are
Look,
screwed.
no,
Just
he
back
could
on
never
his-
come back. He got pushed off the entire table and was never allowed to deploy by that one player at one tournament. And after that, the whole chapter's a joke now.
Yeah. Yup.
So my question is, like, were you guys saying that Space Marines are allowed to have personalities again?
Yes.
That was
now,
Yeah.
The
And-
lore has improved, and now Space Marines are allowed to be actually interesting characters again.
Yeah, it's just like the thing is, like personally, when it comes to like storytelling and writing, I'm not that jazzed about super soldiers, but they actually got some competent writers to actually make the Space Marines, interesting now.
Because I mean, when your whole entire story is only war, changes the context to what super soldiers can and should and maybe will be.
I think the only faction that hasn't gotten like a lore update are the what are they called? The Broody Boys.
Dark
They-
Angels?
No. The other Broody Boys.
Black
The
Templars?
bird. No, the bird.
Raven
No,
Guard.
the Raven Guard. Yeah,
Oh, really?
the Raven Guard haven't gotten an update. They're still just like broody Batman Space Marines.
Which
Oh,
is why
Man,
the
they're probably my
Primarchs
favorite
never gonna
chapter
wake up.
No,
They
that was
are Tristan.
fucking. Oh yeah, Korax is alive. He's became some sort of weird demon prince of the shadows now.
What, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
You've-
didn't know that.
Huh? Yeah, he's out haunting Lorgar,
Literally.
trying to murder him.
Huh.
As opposed to,
Interesting.
as opposed to traveling the galaxy with
Wait, so he's...
He's become a literal living shadow that'll randomly turn into ravens and attack people.
Wait, okay, so... Demon or friggin' Imperial Saint?
Neither.
There's no difference, Stray.
Yeah, I know, but it's semantics.
But yeah, the actual thing is that he appears to have realized the full potential of the warp entity that the Emperor first stuck into his body.
Oh. Well, I mean,
Saga.
hopefully he kills Lorgar, because, no one likes Lorgar.
He's such a whiny fucking cunt.
All he does is just sit and whine.
You know,
Literally,
he would have
if,
more.
if you ever want to just get really annoyed at someone, read the first Heretic, because Lorgar is such a whiny fucking baby in that. It's
I already have Neon on Evangelion for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Logard and Sinji are the same character. Can confirm.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't like where
just,
this is going.
just to finish that thought I was on real quick. Basically, the only way the first Heretic makes sense is if the Emperor wanted the heresy to happen. Because literally, Lorgar basically says to him, yeah, fuck you, I'm going to be a heretic now. And the Emperor just says, yeah, I'm sending 5 custodies with you to make sure you don't actually get that pissy.
Oh, and the custodians just said, like, the writing is very bad. The guy who does it, honestly, just set out to make Big E as bad as he possibly can. Like, there's writing a bad father good, and then there's writing a bad father, like, completely, like, has no idea what he's on.
Yeah. This really did come across like he was being an intentionally awful dad.
Yeah.
Like,
that
fucking,
may be the intention.
yeah. Yeah.
Then the custodians.
When you bring your son in to say, yeah, I've let you do it for 100 years, but this is really, you're really going very slowly at conquering the galaxy. So stop making worlds worship me, just conquer them. And to prove my point, here I've destroyed this entire planet that you poured years into.
What a dick.
And it's followed by a lot of bitching and screaming, and then the attempted murder of Malkador and Guilliman. And the Emperor just doesn't care.
Yeah, just like,
Sounds about right.
Fucking 40k writings all over the place.
Mostly, it's a lot more downs than ups.
Except the first book. The very first book is a masterpiece. Especially the Slanesh scenes.
What Slanesh scene is in the first book?
The ones that describe architecture. And the assassin.
That's Fulgrim?
Oh, no, I'm talking about the one that was... The very...
The good one. The good one is Horus, but I don't remember the one that's
not the first Horus Heresy book, you mean the first book.
The Inquisitor.
Inquisition War.
Masterpiece.
Oh, that one with the with the Tyrann.
Anyway.
Sealer before it was.
Yeah, a Gene Sealer before is when it was a demon, not a Tyrann. That one.
Anyway. All right. I am back. So, Operation Autocannon Statues, Void Shielded Building, and Exploding Frescoes. Are there any more bits that you guys want to discuss?
Good question. I mean, I don't know. You can't really account for Eldar.
Is there anything we can do to block their ability to cyclically see things?
Yes, but it would have similar ill effects on Master Corbec and possibly yourself.
Juno just rub at her bandage non-committally. Right. Well, we wouldn't want anyone to get a headache, I suppose.
Yes, let's pretend it is anything as simple as a headache.
I'm
I
going
mean-
to because I don't want to imagine Baltus in horrible pain.
I mean, Merzendi, clearly all we need to do is just send a bunch of tachyon particles into the atmosphere.
Since Star Trek.
I was referencing a different movie, but okay.
I mean, look, that's how Star Trek works too.
If you want to go ahead and call up your Necron buddies to get them to dispense tachyon bursts, go right ahead. Just let me know when you got Necron buddies.
I mean,
You're
apparently
pointing to.
Tarion knows where we can find some, so we could go make some Necron buddies real quick.
Yes, you could temporarily go out into the Grail Dark or the Grail Abyss. I forget which one I said that was in. I think actually that was Grail Abyss for that one. Yeah, you could just go out there, go to the planet, uncover the Necron tomb ship, and just chat to them and hope that they aren't. And hope that they're in a talkative mood and aren't just going to murder you.
Look, if anybody
And
could...
then come all the way back here before the Eldar arrive. Yeah, you could try that.
Look, if anybody can make a Necron buddy, it would be Juno. But I guess we don't have time, as cool as that would be.
Juno literally wouldn't be able to perceive them.
I don't need to be able to see somebody to roll charisma at them, okay? It's not like being able to see a fucking emotionless skeleton would help. If anything, it might make it easier.
Fair. Fair.
Right. So, if shielding the place from psionics is out of the question, then physically shielding it with voids would be good enough, I suppose. So, void shields, explosives, autocannons. Given that it's the vault, I imagine we won't have any sniping positions on it, but still, we could deploy Marco and our own marksmen to make sure that any of their exfiltration routes that aren't based on teleportation are met with some resistance. Keep them hemmed in.
I have we have a sharpshooter here as well. Marco, you may remember Cedra. Oh. Yes, I remember.
Oh, is she Ceiko's new girlfriend? I hear they had a lovely
I didn't
lunch
say anything
date.
about it.
You mentioned that there was someone in your sniper blind earlier. Juno's making the joke. She has no idea you're actually talking to her.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair.
That just makes it funnier, actually.
Oh, you have gotten better if you picked up on her.
So, 3 world-class snipers should at least be able to make sure the Eldar don't go anywhere we don't want them. Get them into positions to shoot into the house, such that we can funnel their exfiltration, since it is perforce by foot, to somewhere where we can fortify. Maybe get some weapons servitors. I know we don't have battle automata, but we certainly do have a few of those.
Well,
We could get our plasma cannon. I love that thing.
who doesn't love plasma cannons?
Narcy.
I can live.
What are you talking about? I love plasma.
Just pat your robo face. I know.
I can live with or without them.
Have you ever actually used one?
Well, I mean,
Casa here is a plasma expert.
I wouldn't call myself an expert. I just end up being the one who remembers to carry it most of the time.
I do admit my weapon experience with anything that isn't pointy and personal is limited.
Sweet summer child.
Then again, I have a trouble trusting weapons that are designed to explode within my hand.
Go ahead, sorry.
Blessed the mind too small for doubt.
Well, I'd personally say it's sensible. It's a bit boring, though.
Yeah, if your weapon doesn't have at least a 20% chance of exploding in your hands, why are you even using it?
Well, Graves told me that swordplay is the most mighty and honorable and emperor-blessed fighting style in the universe, and I believed with him even before I met him. Swords are very fun and interesting. There's all types of ways to cut people and stab.
Yes, but they don't explode.
Well, you could cut somebody up so many times that they practically explode.
You can, in fact, equip a sword such that when you stab someone, they explode.
See? You guys even have exploding swords now. Although that kind of defeats the point I was making earlier. The point is that swords are very practical, thank you. And very exciting. I don't see any of you with a weapon that's been blessed by a saint.
I hope you never have to fight a tank.
Oh.
What are you talking about? I fought several during my training and won.
Tanks?
Yes.
What types?
You have to remember, I did train under Graves.
Can
I want to see what tanks we have for you to slice up.
Oh, Chimera.
It's not a tank, that's an armored personnel carrier.
Technically, it's an IFV.
See, that's what I've been saying.
But it doesn't really qualify as a tank, as a main battle tank.
Oh, assuredly, but unless you're going to pull a Predator out, you're unlikely to find a main battle tank. The Rus is competent, but does not have the speed required.
Right. Amelie, next time we go to a planet with sufficient garrison, I would like to see you duel a venerable Baneblade. I'm sure your sword skills would be put to good use in that occasion. Quite amusing to watch.
Please do not get Amelie killed. Or a Baneblade, for that matter.
I was about to say, are you saying I couldn't beat a simple tank?
Oh, you would. It would be a very nice test of your skills.
Anyway.
Well, the only reason why I wouldn't do it is because Juno is right. It would be a waste of imperial military resources. Well, now I want to fight a tank.
Anyway, unless we can drive my Chimera into the manor house, I don't think this is particularly relevant.
Can you not?
Well, I
There
technically
is
could.
there is a vehicle bay on the ground floor. Unfortunately, the corridors are too small.
Yes, I don't want to completely destroy the house. That'd be rude.
You may be able to deploy a sentinel in the stairway, or
Ooh.
actually in the vault, although you would have to assemble it in there.
Juno clap her hands excitedly. I love my sentinel.
Or actually, if Master Hysarion is willing, you could assemble it in his office and then blast the wall down that connects his chambers to the vault. They aren't load-bearing, and while thick, sufficient depth charges would make a suitable hole.
Oh, we could bring both of them if that's the case.
I'm not
We do
sure a
have to.
heavy weapons crossfire is what we want, but...
Are you sure? There might be a lot of Eldar.
Well, I'm more worried about us missing and shooting the other sentinel.
It's fine. The Sentinel is much more bulletproof than the Eldar will be.
Not against a plasma cannon, and I don't know if you've noticed, but my aim's not what it used to be.
Why?
If
means
all of you are so squeamish about the holy radiation, I have 90 soldiers that are armed otherwise.
if they sense 90 soldiers, it might not even drop at all. That's the thing. The Eldar, they can occasionally just see into the future. I don't know how we can disguise psychically 97s of the Omnissiah.
Do they not come with an off switch?
Huh.
Or a
That's-
sleep mode?
That's something I did not consider.
They can be ordered to be offline, but they are not servitors. They still have a psychic presence.
I would expect it to at least be reduced in standby mode.
Hang on. I'm looking at what you sent me a long time ago, so 60 plus. So that's a 180. 100. Minus 90. Forgive me, I have 210 troops, not armed with radium weapons.
I don't know that we want to deploy that many, but having a squad of Scitarii on standby to help us corral the Eldar would certainly be helpful.
I can have a fire team land 20 troops with the Triaros. The corridors will matter little with the ram.
Yes, but again, I'd really rather prefer not to just destroy the whole building. It's rather rude. If necessary, of course, we will. And not let architecture get in the way of our holy duty, but having House McGuire continue to be our friends rather than be pissy at us would be nice.
What? You mean using their home as a battlefield to kill Xenos wouldn't be honoring them?
Well, as long as there's the house still standing.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if somebody destroyed my house so long as they killed Xenos.
This is a privateer. At the very least, the Mauler bolt cannons and the Volkite sentinels can provide heavy support while deploying 20 troops.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to imply we shouldn't have your vehicle come down with its troops, just I am hesitant to put it into the building via a ram.
Who left?
Hello?
Hello.
Bob.
You okay, Bob? Dog's eating you again?
There we go.
Nope. Eaten by dogs.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, we're all back.
Hello.
So, anyone else have anything they'd like to bring down to help us ambush the Eldar? Balti, any psychic abilities you think might be helpful?
Sounds like the Eldar are quite adept at using psychic powers. So,
It'd be really funny if we were getting charged by Eldar and Baltus just dropped the gates of eternity that just spat out into space.
God.
I'm not sure if how long Eldar can survive in a vacuum.
Not very long.
Yeah, but if they've got, like, say, aspect armor on, I think that's sealed up like Space Marine armor.
Oh yeah, no, aspects would suffer for quite a bit.
Just Baltus throwing Eldar into space.
That's pretty hilarious.
Yes. Though it's probably easier just to choose like a volcano or something.
Yeah.
But it's way funnier to throw people into space.
Oh yes, if we were on a void ship, yeah, yeah. Well,
Hey, Narcy, how durable is the average Eldar? In terms of Graves' sword swings.
No, they are not very durable at all. They would snap like a twig. It's more their agility you have to worry about. They're quite nimble.
They are more physically frail than a human on average. However, they have a devilish speed.
Ah, so what you're saying is that if I can get the surprise on them, I can cut them down like wheat.
Narcy, you got a really good roll on Forbidden Lore Eldar, right?
Well, it was 19 out of the
Yeah.
6.
They're really not that much more frail. It's
I could have swore that was part of the lore.
it's mostly a
Propaganda.
myth derived that gets printed in the uplifting primer to make people happy and less aware that the Eldar are all complete super enhanced lunatics. Yeah, they do have their toughness is about the same as that of an ordinary person. elite
Which-
humans and gene-enhanced humans come out ahead, but when it comes to like a generic Eldar versus a guardsman, the Eldar is going to be like a mighty 3 points of toughness behind.
Okay, so since I was asked with Graves as a standard, I think what I said is 100% true. Graves would snap them like a twig. Because it's Graves.
Sure, Graves would cleave an average guardsman in two with ease.
So it's not a lie at all.
So potentially anywhere from 8 to 14 people if everything was perfect and the damage was awesome and I didn't roll below a 5.
That's
And
a
I
lot of
actually-
ifs you're putting down, but I see. I
Yeah,
see what
it's not a practice. It's not a practice.
I believe in you.
I believe in me, just not that much. But it's not going to stop me from trying anyways. Look, I have to rush in even harder now because I have a whole legacy to live up to.
Right. That is the case, but really, because of the way attribute bonuses work, Eldar are in the same range as humans.
Hmm.
What the fuck?
Like elite humans, like stormtroopers, they might have a 4, and elite Eldar will still have a 3, but most humans are still are a 3, and most Eldar are still a 3.
Oh, okay.
Winter, I've DM'd you on Discord what that round does.
Right. Holy shit.
Yeah, you get one of those.
I'll save this for an opportune moment.
Right. Well, if no one has any other ideas, then I suggest we get to work.
Dependent on how long the Eldar take, I can call on some favors and some items currently in storage. Luxor and Elysium both have resources that could be put to use defending against the Eldar.
Well, no reason not to try. We have no idea when the enemy will arrive, so could be minutes or it could be weeks. Probably not weeks, though. Not that lucky.
Yes. Including time for the message and time to load up, I would expect agents from Elysium to be here in 1 week, and those from Luxor in 3.
1 week may be feasible. 3, doubtful. But again, for all we know, it could be that they'll arrive in 5 years, because the warp is what the warp is.
Mhm.
Not that we're
I'll put
speaking from
in-
experience or anything.
I'll put in the call at least.
Right. And update our Inquisitor, see if he has any secret holes, or rather cards in the hole that he can pull out for us. Sure, he has some experience fighting the pointy-eared menace.
Does. Alyssa Ducati.
Indeed. Actually, do we know if these are the Dark Eldar or the whatever the other kind are? I honestly don't know what
We
the
know
difference
they're
is.
Corsairs. So,
There are 4 principal varieties of them. The Dark Eldar, they live purely in their little hellscape, and they come out for slaving, raping, torturing, and all manners of wickedness. Fortunately, if it were them, they have no psychic capabilities. They kill all of their psychers.
Ah, well, that's good for us, I suppose.
The second, the famous Eldari of the craft worlders. They dwell on vast city ships, the size and power of planets, and they interfere in all sorts of terribly inconvenient ways. They're the ones with the worst reputation for knowing what we're all going to do ahead of time and then teasing us about it. The third are Corsairs. They're Eldar pirates. They don't stay with the craft worlds for as long, nor do they revel in their debauchery as the Drukhari. They are scavenger slavers who show up, trade with heretics, kill people, and then vanish to do whatever it is they do, which is probably fuck all of the souls out of people that they take. The fourth are Eldar Exodites. They are good Eldar. They have realized their place in the galaxy is passing, and so they have resolved to live out eternity farming and waiting to die.
And riding dinosaurs.
Juno's gonna just look genuinely impressed and say, "Are you sure you don't want to switch places? You seem more equipped for this than I am."
I just quickly downloaded that from our files. It's the other advantage of you having turned off your signal jammers. I can do that.
Ah, yes.
connect to the Wi-Fi.
I have to consume all my knowledge by reading books still. Huh.
Reading books, I say as I just slowly turn to look at you. The one with no eyes.
Because it's
Reading.
been a bit of a damper lately. Wasn't going to
Like
say
me to read
anything.
some for you, if we ever make it back to the ship.
Yes, that would actually be lovely. And give Cass's voice a break.
Gotcha.
Yes, I do apologize for interrupting with that explanation. You were, I believe, about to say which of the factions of Eldar you believed it was.
Yeah, it seemed like Crusaders. That was the most reasonable one in my mind, at least.
The captain certainly believed he was under attack by pirates or corsairs. Although, this Wraithbone artifact thereafter would lead me to suspect they may in fact be craft worlders. for this.
I would also
Go ahead.
I would also just remind you, the second message you got did quite explicitly say they are not just pirates.
Right. Yes. Well, indeed, Ad.
Yeah,
Indeed,
there's
the
that.
captain didn't appear to indicate they were not just pirates in his second message. They're not dark Eldar, I don't think. Or at least we'll hope they're not for his sake. So that leaves craft worlders. And given the Wraithbone sarcophagus tomb prison thing bit might have been stolen from one of their craft worlds or some such. Some world they cared for once upon a time. That would be the most likely, and unfortunately mean they're most likely to have powerful psionics.
And thinks 5 steps ahead.
Yes. Well, if we don't know what we're doing, they certainly can't predict us.
Oh my god.
Juno's smile.
What are you talking about? I know exactly what we're doing.
Yes, that's the problem when you're fighting the craft worlders. Still,
What we are doing is winning.
as I said, we should gather our resources and set to building this ambush. They could be here in a matter of minutes, or hours, or days. Just don't know yet.
Well, at least we should be glad it wasn't the other alternative. They didn't get attacked by the clowns.
What?
Oh. Tyrann?
They're a myth.
Yeah, that's a myth, darling.
What's a clown?
I'm insisting that they're a myth, because otherwise I have to give up any belief that in a rational galaxy.
These are Eldar.
I don't get it. What's a clown?
Do we tell them?
The Eldar believe that the forces of chaos devoured the majority of their gods, specifically the most recent chaotic incarnate, the one known as the Prince of Pleasures. The only god they believe escaped is their laughing god, their jokester god. And it still retains a priesthood who attain superpowers above and beyond even the normal Eldar, and who dress as circus clowns and battle by dancing.
So a
It must be
clown
a
is
myth.
like a clown is like a court jester, and he's battling with the power of dance and song.
Yes,
they're
they're battle
bards.
jesters. They're called harlequins. They're terrifying.
Those are just the court bards, and those are only scary if they play bad.
You know, humanity did that at some point in the past, during the Age of Strife.
Danced their enemies to death.
Oh no, we had battle clowns. They were called jugulators. They were very metal and terrifying.
Maybe Grace has experience with them. Is that why he calls combat a dance?
I hope not. Anyways, let's just pretend they don't exist.
But if we don't acknowledge they exist, how are we supposed to prepare to fight them?
We will not face them. I don't think they venture too far outside of the webway. And if you face them, well, don't get stabbed, because they have this little nice thingy in their arm that punctures your armor and shreds your insides with fiber wire.
Is that what that one jester who was walking down the street, the corridor, is wearing?
I hope not.
Listen, if we encounter these Harlequins, we must just challenge them to a dance-off and win.
You misunderstand. They quite literally battle by dancing. Their movements are said to kill people just by being near them. They do not require weapons, they just utilize them in addition because sometimes they're a bit lazy.
Ah, see, I understand now. Their asses are so thick they could just literally twerk you to death.
They kill you with Fortnite dances.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, that's
Juno, Juno's sitting there doing a little slash dance.
No, stop
Done.
that. I
We
want
can win. We'll challenge the Eldar to a dance-off for the artifact. And when we win with our sheer raw charisma and beauty of all of our ladies put together, and also Baldy, sorry Marco, then they'll send them off running home with their tails between their legs. We can claim the Wraithbone for ourselves. What do you say, everyone?
Can I
I'm
dance?
just going to run them over with my train.
Oh,
Can I cut them while I dance?
yes.
Then I'm in.
The other reason why I am quite convinced they are not actually real is that they are said to be respected and feared by all of the other Eldar subfactions.
I don't know.
Including the ones that completely hate each other and seek nothing more than killing the others. They all love when Harlequins come to visit, and they all be good little knife ears who don't disrespect Cheddarach.
I mean, I don't know about you,
What's a
but
Jedi
I think
Edge?
I would have a lot of respect for somebody who could dance so well that they could physically end my life.
That is as close as I can care to pronounce the name of their laughing god.
Like, seriously, how well do those hips have to be moving to be able to literally kill a man?
Eloa will just look down at Emily. I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, I still have to swing my swords at people.
But can your thighs crush watermelons?
I mean, of course. Can't the rest of yours?
I didn't say that out loud.
Eloa will just say yes and give you the precise amount of PSI required to crush a watermelon.
See, she knows. That's the grade of waifu.
It's a watermelon.
Waifus are graded in how long it takes them to crush. How long it takes them to crush a watermelon between their thighs. That's the waifu.
That's a watermelon.
So who actually brought up watermelons then? Because it wasn't Ceiko.
No, I don't think. No, I'm pretty sure that was not a character.
It was.
Okay.
Still, I admit it does sound like a fairy tale. More important to focus on the enemies we are fighting right now.
I'm glad you enjoyed the meme, Bob.
Right.
One thing that
No, I didn't even realize I was unmuted.
It's fine.
anyway, one thing that I can say for certain though, assuming it is craft worlders, they value nothing more than the life and soul of an Eldar. One of the cases I've just downloaded is that there was a DCL. Could you mute, please?
Yeah, sorry, I just realized.
Was a case where craft worlders, in order to save 2 Eldar from being killed, redirected an Orc war onto an Imperial system, killing trillions.
They raised 3 of our planets, did they not?
Yes.
Disgusting.
It does, however, mean we can predict their actions to an extent. They will be extremely loath to allow themselves to be killed, and they will have absolutely no care themselves for collateral damage of the city and of human lives.
I suppose that makes the void shields even more important then. Won't be able to just bomb their way in either. Right.
Yes.
Well then. We'll look to the rest of the group for any further ideas. And failing that, we'll take a step forward and extend a hand. Well then, Tyrann, I look forward to working with you and yours on this.
Yes. I dare say it's going to be a pleasure. She takes your hand.
Yeah. Big smile. Firm shake.
Yay!
Not yet.
Now, if you excuse me, I will have to go and see Master Hisarion. He will have been expecting me for quite some time now. But
Do be sure to inform him you're not dead. Wouldn't have any accidents.
Yes, I will leave it to your discretion what to tell him. We will go and contact our master and see what he can offer to the plan.
And yes, do pass our best wishes on to Lord Riv.
Of course.
And I did hear you had some conclave trouble. If you were wondering, that was not anything to do with us.
Oh, no, in fact, Lord Mercury represented us in our defense. We know what the why and how of that are, and I think that issue should resolve itself.
Well, if it doesn't and you ever need to vanish, just let us know. We would all be very happy to facilitate your continued service to the Imperium even if it does necessarily need to be incognito.
Yes, unfortunately, there's a non-zero chance we may have to take you up on that, but appreciate the offer.
She turns to leave and then stops. You know, it is amazing, now I think about it, just how much easier this all would have been if we just talked to you from the beginning.
I know, right?
Yes, but then we wouldn't have the pruning.
Shut up,
And
Narcia.
Ro would still be running around, stealing women's clothing.
Juno can't help but laugh. Just looks ashamed at herself and covers her mouth.
No, Eloa is just going to openly chuckle.
Yes, I do hope this is another step in the continued right direction for our future friendships.
Oh, most certainly.
Perhaps someday soon Mayror and Reeve will get together and have a nice sit down and laugh about how wrong they were.
She gives a slight chuckle at that and then slips on out.
When she's gone, June's going to give a big, deep sigh of relief. Whew. Well, see, that went really quite well, actually.
I like her.
I do too. I didn't think I'd be saying that a few months ago. Very competent woman.
Yes.
Confident.
Remember, I was telling you that the single most hated thing in this appearing for me were useless bureaucrats? C is right on the money with that. Fuck 'em.
Did
Ah!
I ever put it in my report how I found on Moab that wretched little underbaron that was running a den full of mind-washed women and burned the place down with him in it?
Oh, yes. I remember reading about that.
Yes.
Shame you didn't have a video feed.
I know, well, I hadn't gotten power armor yet. But seeing that sort of thing washed away is, always brightens my day. Just hope they can live up to my hopes for them and stop with the chaos bullshit, intentional or not.
Ah, one can hope.
Anyway, we should go ahead and contact Reeve. See if he has anything to add to the plan. Eloa, did you actually get a message out before we had that meeting?
Indeed.
Well, it's been a couple hours. You'd think he'd have responded. Oh well. Can we just call
That's
him now? No real need to hide our presence from the master of the house or any would-be listeners.
if you want to call him direct, you may. However, I can transmit through via my legate or any number one of my acolytes.
I just don't see the point at this juncture. I think we've been, shake her head. As usual, we've been rumbled almost immediately after starting. It's really incredible. You're doing so well this time, too.
It's not incredible that we've been rumbled. It's incredible that we keep being rumbled by the same people.
Eloa will shrug.
Alright, let's see.
As soon as we get off the port, it's just Marco looking at us with a sniper scope. By the way, good job, Marco.
Have you considered that we are most likely to have a presence on subsector capitals?
Not
Quite
really.
important worlds worth keeping an eye on.
We don't have a presence on any world other than where we are, so... No, I suppose Mayor's warband is much, much larger than we had anticipated.
I mean, yeah, the little quote-unquote criminal enterprise, as the bad tongues would say, that you've set up across the subsector. Yes, of course it would have its eyes on the biggest ports, but still, you get picked out so easily every single time. That's pretty impressive. And that's the thing I like about these guys. They're competent. They're fucking competent. If we only had more of this, wouldn't be having most of the problems the Imperium is having right now.
Well, aside from the whole King fiasco and Frank and blowing up Reeves' explicator by accident.
I mean, yeah, predicting a demon that can infiltrate so deeply he changes his whole personality to suit with his new role is a little bit.
Look, even...
Hmm.
Oh, I never told you guys. While I was on the phone with Frank, he actually detailed how to stop that from happening again. He was very disappointed in us.
He was so deep into his disguise, he was genuinely pumped to stop himself.
I honestly think that if we had just never figured out Frank was Frank, that he just would have fucked off and been an Inquisitor for the rest of his life.
But the planet would still be
Oh,
full
yes,
of
I mean,
chaos
that would have
corruption,
been
so
fucked,
we
but
just do it on a different planet.
still. It's amazing how in character he got. I
It
don't
is.
think there was a difference between the Marshal and the character at a certain point. Anyway,
Well, that just gives me an existential crisis. I'm going to
Precisely.
stop thinking now.
by the way, I don't know if, Balti, you took a look, but I did, Juno will make little oogly motions with her hands at Tyrann, and she's definitely not a Chaos Marine. So we have that going for us, which is nice.
Indeed, I was the Chaos Marine all along.
No, you're not.
How do you know?
Because I can fucking see your aura now.
I would never play hide and seek with you again.
What?
I mean, anything outside of 6 meters, and you'll win every time.
It's true. There's a rather immediate cutoff. You know, glance over towards Casa. Really, as far as I can tell, Casa might as well be sitting next to the wall.
It's true. The one time I shoved her in a locker, she never saw it coming.
That was you! You rancid little bitch! I thought that was
You did
Casa
what?
and got very mad.
You did. You are both adult women. Why are you shoving each other into lockers?
At this
Because
point,
she's a nerd.
a small part of me
Look, I
thinks
do
that's just my
occasionally
natural
carry
voice.
meals, but that's fine because they're plebs.
In any case, so, Juno, how do you know someone couldn't just disguise their aura?
Well, even Frank couldn't completely. Balti picked it out, he just didn't know what he was looking at. I figure if it's someone more powerful than Frank, then we're just fucked anyway, so why bother? But if they're not more powerful than Frank, then I know what to look for now. Tap the side of her head.
Marco, are you still having that existential crisis?
Mm,
I'll leave you to it, buddy.
less so. If you think you can see through it, then fine.
Just gonna give
It's
Marco
just
a
if
hug.
there's no difference between the character and the impersonator, then would you even know if you've been taken over?
That's the scary part, to an extent.
Oh shit, when you phrase it like that.
What existential crisis were you thinking about?
I mean, I think getting stabbed would be a pretty obvious dead giveaway.
Well, if you think about consciousness as a continuity rather than a simple on-off switch.
All right. This is going nowhere.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
I'm going.
Let's
I'm
just call
going
Reed.
to. I'm going to call my legate and get the Triaris over here, and also a couple of my adepts so I can sit on them.
Yeah, we might as well start preparing for the big visit. God.
All
The
right.
big. Wait, doesn't Juno, not Eloa, have some like murder servitors as well?
No. I had one. It was used and is no longer in. Remember, they all got destroyed
Okay.
in that big battle, and they weren't murder servitors; they were combat servitors.
Yes.
Anyway, yes, Juno, you can get through to Inquisitor Reeve. Juno, I take it your meeting with Miss Tyrann went well, then?
Yes, I think I got through to her. And she has agreed to help us in capturing the Eldar. Or rather, recapturing the captain who the Eldar have captured. Whichever, really.
I expect that they will come together into one event.
Yes. So we've begun strategizing how to lay an ambush here at the estate to protect the Wraithbone artifact, but it turns out that aside from Narcia, none of us really have any idea what we're doing with Eldar, so any insight or assistance your unit could provide would be most appreciated.
By the way, point out it's for craft worlders.
Yes, we think it's craft worlders now.
Well, it is useful to have that question answered, but at the same time, that is the answer I was least hoping for. I assume Narcia has filled you in on the distinctions between the various categories.
Yes,
Tyrann beat us to it.
the four categories and the clown Eldar.
Yes.
Are those real?
Unfortunately. Their abilities are somewhat exaggerated in the tales, but they do exist, and they do weave combat and performance together in a remarkably deadly fashion.
So, could one perhaps challenge a Harlequin to a dance-off for victory?
Once, yes, you would. They would likely find that suitably amusing to acquiesce. However, your body would be broken by the effort and your spirit devoured.
Oh.
At least if you let them pick the dance.
Juno's brain starts working overtime. Little hamster wheel going 90 miles an hour.
Equations flying in front of her face.
How about a joke contest? Would that work any better?
No.
They are clowns.
They would probably accept it, but neither of you could make any headway over the other. Cultural differences. Jokes don't translate from Gothic to the Eldari tongues.
Alright, so aside from a lucky first initiative dance-off, I suppose we will have to just go for bombs, autocannons, and Scytharii.
Don't forget the void shields.
Oh yes, Tyrann has a void shield we can borrow. Keep them from
Mention
teleporting.
our spiders.
Yes. That would... That would provide some defense, though they do have other means of travel beyond warp teleportation. Fortunately, I have ascertained that there is only a 2% chance of a webway gate being present upon this world. And even if it exists, a further 1% chance that it is still operational. The only location that has not been thoroughly scoured by the Mechanicum was severely bombarded in the Heresy, so the chances of anything there surviving are slim to none.
I don't like those chances.
Fortunately, the odds are a little higher than 1,000,000 to 1, otherwise I would immediately be deploying all of my troops there.
Well, it probably wouldn't hurt to send some of Eloa's Scytharii there, just to make sure.
I would not presume to utilize Eloa's troops. A stormtrooper complement that is permanently based aboard the Veritum is quite capable.
Very well. Still, to the topic at hand. Is there any suggestions you have for setting traps for the Eldar, or indeed would it be better to just meet back up and go over everything in detail?
Hmm. You must convince the senior house agent that it would be worth destroying the artifact. Better that than let it fall into Eldar hands. Then you can actually utilize it as bait. Craft worlders, they would be able to tell if you were just bluffing. You must be willing to act on its destruction.
I believe Tyrann is handling his being brought on board. We discussed placing some crack grenades on it as if nothing else, a means of slowing them down. We have to disarm them.
Or a melt-a-bomb.
Or a melt-a-bomb. I think Eloa has a couple of those.
Those would be better suited, I think.
Melt-a-bombs, then.
Do you actually trust Tyrann?
Not really, but she seems fine for now.
I trust that she has the good of the Imperium at heart, and genuinely wants to prevent Captain McGuire from being turned into a Eldar sex pit slave, so at least as far as this operation goes, yes.
And I believe that even if she is double-crossing us, that we are Emperor fated to meet in the final battle.
Very well. If it is as you say, then what is... were you able to learn the depth of connection between Meror's group and House McGuire?
Not in great detail, but she did say quite specifically that the Lord Captain was working with her organization.
I see.
It's really quite amazing how we just bumble into their group over and over again.
Well, when you start to turn things up, a great deal will crawl out of the woodwork. In this case, I doubt she would have revealed herself if you were agents of any other Inquisitor.
Yes, that seemed to be her objective, to rumble us to House McGuire and have their stormtroopers kill us all.
Ah. Yes, they probably would have succeeded in killing at least 3 of you before reinforcements arrived.
Are you sure? We did have that tank and a drop pod. Oh wait, no, shit, that didn't actually work. Well, we had a drop pod in Jeff.
Yes, that's why I'm willing to credit that the majority of you would survive.
I'd probably get shot in the faggot face again.
Yes, and dear Amelie would charge out into the middle of a gun line.
Yes, I'm very worried about her facing down the Eldar, but unfortunately there's nothing really any of us can do about that.
I'll be fine.
Well,
Amelie, you're 5 feet away. Just come over here.
I was saying I'll be fine.
That's what Graves said.
Yes, and Graves is the greatest swordsman ever.
That doesn't inspire never mind. Anyway. Speaking of Tyrann, though, she said she would have some of her agents get in contact with yours and help you with your research. If you want, that is.
Well, if she was already on the planet, then yes, she likely has already made connections that we are still working on forming.
Yes, it seems that she's been embedded here for quite some time. Perhaps since Moab, even.
Curious. Curious. If you can, do try to learn why.
Oh, I can't give you specifics, but I can now tell you with some confidence their ultimate plan. They seem to be obsessed with stirring up chaos, not big C chaos, but little c chaos, on Imperial worlds that have grown corrupt and decadent and riddled with incompetence, such that an overthrow inevitably happens and quote-unquote new heroes rise up to lead the Imperium out of the Dark Age.
I have a throne, where the only thing worse than Thorians. Ishtvanians.
I don't know what that is, sir.
It is an inquisitorial philosophy that dictates that the greatest human strength is revealed in a time of strife. Just consider the true strength of the Emperor, and that his ultimate divinity was revealed in his self-sacrifice against Horus, and the righteousness of the Legion as Astartes, that was revealed at Ishtvan.
I see. Yes, that sounds right. I suppose then that Mayror intends to just go around the Gothic sector knocking over Imperial governments until his new age of heroes starts.
Well, perhaps. If it was just that, then it would not be our concern.
That's what I tried to tell her. They could just stop with the chaos bullshit, then we can leave each other alone.
Also, the Tau contraband weapons, disguised to look as Imperial tech.
Alright, the heresy bullshit. Whatever.
Yes, you really didn't want to tackle that subject.
Honestly, I'd forgotten.
You're forgetting, like, the most basic thing.
It's not really significant compared to everything else. I mean, we know where that came from and why, and the guy's dead.
One of them is dead. There could have been more.
Whatever.
It wasn't really easy to divulge that information.
Yes, Naxos and Leth were both production facilities.
Mm-hmm. Juno, there is a lot she wasn't saying, and a lot we didn't ask, because we want this to go smoothly, because right now the Eldar
Yes.
are a bigger pain in our ass.
Trying to simply convert someone entirely to your cause in one sitting doesn't tend to work out very well. It is a game played in steps, and I have planted the first moves on Lord Mercury and now Tyrann. In both of them, they recognize that there have been errors in their ways, and from there we can begin reeling them back onto the path of the righteous. But it does take time and dedication.
I gotta say, aside from the massive tech heresy, I did really like Tyrann.
Yeah, she seems nice.
Should I have a tailor sent down to measure you for a white dress, Explicator?
Oh, yes, please. Actually, 2. You'll expedite things.
She did
Already have the rings
say
prepared.
if this keeps up, the next time our organizations meet, we'll just cut to the chase and go to a 5-star restaurant instead.
Already have the rings prepared.
Sorry, I need to step away just for a couple of minutes and unsticky my hands.
I didn't know good roleplay excited you so much.
It's not that, it's that my
I did.
mixer got all spilt a little and it's all sticky.
Out of
And that was
character.
amazing timing, though. I'm
The reason
sorry.
why I'm saying anything remotely nice about her is because Marco is here. If Marco wasn't here, I'd be trash talking her so fucking hard.
Well,
She's a filthy heretic.
Meanwhile, Juno's like, "Yay! Narcy loves Tyrann. We're making progress. I'm so happy."
Oh, Juno doesn't know. Narcissus is an actual psychopath. There.
No,
I just want to fight aliens for once.
I
we're
too wish
getting
to fight
there.
aliens.
We're gonna fight the aliens, and now we have help to fight them even harder. It's gonna be great.
I don't care about them. I just want to shoot an alien.
I know. Well, it's okay. We're gonna have aliens come to us. We've made progress, guys. We're gonna fight our second group of aliens, or third for Juno, because I guess that
Look,
one's Outcast.
the elder Farseer is gonna watch the VOD to see what we're up to. Because of all the path, it's gonna click out midway through.
I
It's
want
gonna
to
run
run.
out of space data.
I want to run them over with a zappy train. Did you know that the galvanic traction drive means that the Triaros treats all terrain as open terrain?
I
Does
just
that
want to
include walls?
Correct, because of the shock ram.
I just want to play Metal Gear Rising where I never exit the cut mode.
Well, hopefully we'll all get our chances to do just that, except for Juno, who's gonna go hide in the fucking Sentinel and cry because she has 2 fate points.
Oh man, only going to battle with 2 fate points must be such a risk.
Alright,
It
I'm
is
back.
for Juno.
So, right.
Don't worry, I'll use cleric powers on you guys before I go hide in a corner.
But, to return to the matter at hand, I believe your preparations there are quite adequate. I will second Alaric to your team. His powers of divination may be able to provide you with an edge, or at least hamper the Eldars' use of their own. When two stare at the same skein of fate, it is read differently than when only one looks.
Juno's proud smile falters somewhat when hearing that Alaric is going to join us, but I'll give a stiff upper lip and say, "Very well, sir. Shall we expect him here at the estate, or?"
If that is where you're making your base, yes. Now
Seems
I
to be the
will.
case.
Now I'll continue to rule out locations for a webway gate, and inform the port authority to step up their inspections. If Tyrann is on our side, we should be able to provide that with administrative cover without tipping a hand of the Inquisition.
Yes, Tyrann and that great big battleship we saw parked in orbit.
Yes.
Yes, very good, sir. We'll get ready with our own preparations.
If you require anything else, do contact me at once.
We will. Until then.
Yeah.
Right. So, I don't know anything about autocannons or force fields or whatever. So, while you all take care of that, Amelie, Baltus, Since neither of you are technically adept either, why don't the three of us take a little trip out to the safe house of our mercenary friends and collect the information they had gathered for us?
Information gathering? Well, I suppose.
In your case, it's more keeping me from getting murdered while I go information gather.
Oh, that I can do very well.
Actually, can either of you drive?
No.
No.
Well,
Well,
this'll be
then.
fun.
Guess
I
who
thought
can
you were
drive?
the crack. I thought you were the crack pilot.
Oh, I am. Like I said, this'll be fun. Come on, everyone.
No.
Let's go see how I can drive.
You are not driving.
What are you talking about? She can actually.
She has a blindfold on, so you can't see more than 5 meters.
Narcia, it's fine. She's guided by the Emperor. She'll be fine.
Come on, Castle. Let's have you come along too.
I am making the executive decision to ride shotgun and have the steering wheel under my possession as the senior agent here.
You
Do
can't
you know how to drive?
Yes. I was driving the Chimera.
You can't you can't pull executive rank over the will of the Emperor.
I mean, technically I can over you. You specifically.
She can pull authority over your interpretation of whatever. All right.
Yes,
In that
okay.
case, Tessa, you're back on autocannon and fixie-uppy duty.
You can silence me, but you can't silence the truth.
Juno, you hurt me sometimes, but always in the most wonderful of ways, as the pain is never physical. It's more like, how do I put this?
It's like that good soul hurting juice.
So you blink, and Juno's has like an actual flog in her hand. Oh, do you like that too? I can make it physical.
Whoa.
Not here, put it away, not now.
Wow, usually when I'm making sex jokes, they're just jokes. Okay,
Holy shit.
I'm kidding.
That was not in your file. That was absolutely not on your file.
I don't believe you.
How did this slip me by?
Juno looks incredibly amused.
Hey, Juno, you and I, we're gonna have to have a meet a medical meeting
Man,
on the ship.
Man, I really am a great influence on you.
But right now, focus on the driving. Which you are not. You shouldn't be doing.
No, I shouldn't.
Aww.
But I will, however, let you have my keys. As long as I can ride shotgun.
I think that's a deal.
Alright. Alonzi.
Oh god.
Alright, if you're riding shotgun, where's sword?
That's in the top compartment so you can wave it out the little hatch.
Ah. I
Wait a
think
minute. Did you just talk me to driving around the place?
I mean,
we have an address. We know exactly where to go. So, let's go.
Holy shit.
I mean, she talked me into guarding her.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. Let's go.
Talking people into doing
Alright.
what I want is what I do.
So, it's time to roll on out. So it was Juno, Narcia, Amelie, and Baltus that were going, yeah?
Yes. And I guess Ceiko can come if he wants, but he's also in a sniper hold, so whatever. If you got your bipod planted, you might as well just leave it.
Yay, I'm coming
I
along
guess
off the vague hope of...
You know, I think Ceiko is actually well on route to getting his monopod planted somewhere.
That's my boy.
Very professional.
See, look, if we just get you and the hot sniper chick fucking, we need to set somebody up with Marco, and then we'll be good. Our two little Ordo units will be all tied up, and we'll be best friends forever.
We're gonna use arranged marriage to fix the gaps between our ordos.
Look,
It is
that's
getting-
how it works on Juno's homeworld to begin with. This seems perfectly natural to her.
It's getting awfully. It's getting
Thank you.
awfully medieval in here.
We have the two feudal warriors side by side. My God.
That has an N, and you know it, Savin.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
So, the four of you can head out. And leaving the Duke's Villa, it's about a 10-minute drive to get to the safe house they set up. It is broadly as described, a large warehouse building, and taking a couple of minutes to look around the outside, you can indeed see, the windows are quite clearly booby-trapped with high explosives. And the door has a sophisticated card reader and a slightly less sophisticated manual backup.
It's a good thing we have the card.
Indeed.
So I'm going to give the card to Balti and then hide behind his giant powered armored ass.
Wait, card?
There's an access card to the place we're going.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. No, he takes it. Why not?
Sure. Are you going to use it on the card reader?
Yes.
Alright. It's a little stiff, and you have to slide it through twice to get it to read, but it does read, and the light above the reader turns green. You can hear the sound of a couple of bolts retracting. DCL, what's up? Sounded like you were up and moving.
Oh, I just like shifted in my seat.
It was weirdly loud.
Doing a Kina. Alright, well, assuming the door doesn't blow up when we open it, go in.
There is no spontaneous combustion. It looks at first glance to be a proper warehouse. There are big crates stacked up, but even a moment's scrutiny, the crates don't go back very far. It is literally just a little wall of crates to give an illusion, and then behind that it opens up into a wide space. There's a little corkboard put up, photographs pinned there, files arrayed on tables, and can see middle there is chair that's just been pushed over, and a half empty medical kit. Seems the bounty hunter did stop here to patch himself up before fleeing altogether.
Just make a fine addition to my collection.
Sure. When you go over and look closer, also see, it seems he pulled the bullet out.
Oh. I'll hand that to Narcia.
Oh. Let's take a look at this.
Sure, Narcia, my dear, dear sweet Narcia, what forbidden laws do you have?
I have Savin, which allows me to just roll anything without or not with a -10.
This isn't Xeno.
Tau.
Okay,
Elder.
you have Inquisition. That is
Too.
probably the best one. It'll be Inquisition with a -20.
Narcia is incredibly fucking knowledgeable.
Yes.
Too knowledgeable, in fact.
Yeah, looking at this round, this is this is a solid slug of human make, and it's let me finish. But you're on the right track. It does bear a significant resemblance to some of the rounds you've seen that are said to be used by the Vindicare Temple assassins. It's meant to keep together and not tumble or fragment or overpenetrate. It's meant to go into the wound and stay there. Because this is a tracking round. It's emitting a low frequency signal that when you shoot someone with this, unless they're very weak, they probably won't die. But you'll be able to follow them to wherever they're on.
Well, this is quite intriguing. This is a tracking round, typically used by various members of this temple's assassinorum.
So Marco was right.
Yes.
The surviving bounty hunter was left out as bait to lure us in so they could identify us. Makes sense.
And so they've identified us. What are they going to do now?
Hopefully help us kill Eldar.
They'll probably shoot us out of spite.
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe you. You were a bit of an asshole. Me, they're going to make their new best friend.
Please.
Give Narcia a little shit-eating grin.
Me? I don't know. What are their opinion on cat ears?
Oh, everyone has the same opinion on cat ears. They're adorable. Scritch, scritch, scritch.
I expect not to be shot then.
Well, now that I did this, we're waiting. Anytime now.
Narcia, this is from the sniper Ceiko's dating.
Oh. He's doing what?
You know, they shared a sniper blind for a bit. I made the joke earlier that they were dating because it was funny.
I mean, I noticed that, but I thought you were just taking the piss.
I
And I thought
am,
Tyrann
but
was in on the joke somehow.
unless they are dating, that would be rather funny all of a sudden, but a little sudden.
Albly is strangely silent.
I remember you making the joke. I remember seeing Tyrann's expression, but
I can't let them know
Get
my
it?
shipper
Okay.
senses.
Anyway,
that's impressive.
that reminds me, I should send a runner to that poor bounty hunter and let him know everything's okay now.
Relatively okay. Like,
Well, no one's going to
is-
be hunting him down and murdering him for no reason.
It's probably good not to live your life in fear.
Anyway, let's gather up all the intelligence here and, actually, while we're here all by ourselves, why don't we go ahead and read some of this and see if there's anything they found out that would help us to root out any hidden heresy or predict a double cross, just in case.
Juno, do you have trust issues now?
Listen, Amelie, I have no reason not to trust Tyrann except for the time that Frank turned out to actually be a Chaos Space Marine. Having gone through that experience, I am a little wary of other groups of Inquisitors.
Yeah, no,
Because
that's fair.
apparently, we are as easy to infiltrate as the little group of school children is.
I don't know what you're talking about. Emily secretly goes over to the corner and whispers, "They know."
Juno's just having flashbacks to wandering out from her sororitas group and falling into like a completely different order once, and then getting shoved into their lockers.
Different order, same lockers.
Right. So you're taking a look at this intel, yeah?
Yes, we are going to review all the shit they've gathered up.
So, at this stage, it's not super relevant to you. It's information about the movements and routines within House Maguire, their obvious security arrangements, the less obvious security arrangements. You have already noticed both of those. It's also got picked captures of the Maguire Aquila landing. Photo of someone coming out. You can recognize it is Hysarion, but on the pics he's labeled with a big question mark. And the way people are saluting, it's like senior agent, executive officer, perhaps new captain. Apprehend, interrogate. And then photos of him and the security commander, Kran, that whenever they are visible, either in the garden or through the windows. Hysarion taking a trip out from the villa to Narcia and Baltus. You would recognize the symbols of this. It is a hookah den, but to Juno and Amelie, it just looks like a slightly seedy place outside of the rich district. They are not experienced enough to be able to tell what type of seed is which.
It's true. Most of the seed just goes inside me, and I don't have to look at it.
Damn it, I was just about to make that joke, you asshole. I was just about to go, hey. Amelie is very familiar with seed, thank you.
Well, you are now.
Yeah. Hookah's never go out of style.
All right. Do they have any pick caps of Tyrann, by any chance? Did she get caught up?
No.
Right. Well, there's nothing.
There are photos of. There are photos of some guests who came down and visited, but few of particular relevance. We'll recognize a couple of them as being in Imperial naval uniforms, but that's really bad.
Right. Well, if there's nothing of particular relevance here, now that we've sort of got all of our cards down on the table, Balti, be a dear and gather all this up. We don't need to leave House McGuire's intelligence lying out for someone to wander into. Narcia, you're capable with explosives, right?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Great. There's a bunch of booby traps on all the windows here. Since we're on the inside where the booby traps are armed from, perhaps you could gather those up and then we can throw the booby traps at the Eldar later.
Yes. Yes, I can.
Excellent. Amelie, you and I are going to go find a runner and go make some poor bastard in a hovel much happier than he was.
That
No,
sounds
Amelie.
ominous.
No, shh. The bounty hunter. We're just going to tell him it's okay now.
Oh, okay. Okay. It was just after the whole joke with the paddle, I was just really worried.
One thing I will call for, is any of you are, before you set to that, is just anyone you can feel free to make a scrutiny roll +0.
Sure.
Ooh, I'm very good at scrutiny. Well, I'm decent at scrutiny.
Audio-based.
You beat me to it. You had a better roll. How dare you?
Am I able to, or am I just?
You're not there.
I didn't think so.
This is just those 4 that
Yep.
went off.
Fuck.
No!
So, yeah. Looking through this and looking over this, you're pretty sure someone has been here since the bounty hunter pulled the bullet. This has all been read by someone. Hopefully one of Tyrann's people, but possibly someone else who has just taken the time to rearrange things.
I suppose it would probably be worth having somebody with eyes take a peek around to see if there's any footprints that might not look entirely human, just in case the Eldar were here too, for whatever reason.
Hey, how did Juno see that?
I didn't. That's why I'm asking someone else to do it.
Juno would be able to detect it from aura traces.
Okay.
If anything, it'd be the one thing they wouldn't think to wipe.
A fucking spirit.
So we're looking for. You think Eldar?
We're basically looking for footprints or tracks left by whoever was here before.
Let me guess. There is a freshly smoked love stick in here. No, there isn't. There couldn't be. They wouldn't be this clumsy, would they?
Well, let's find out.
Okay. What? Roll scrutiny again?
Nah,
Done.
I'm happy to take your previous rolls. Just give Plain Chan a minute. Okay, this is taking a while, so
It's a
I'm
big
just
old
going to
plane.
hope it's not too loud for you.
No, I can't hear a thing.
Nope.
Fair enough. Then I hope I'm not just delusional. Would be quite annoying to hallucinate planes.
Planes? Planes is something that usually the Discord filters filter out.
Anyway, yes. No. You can detect no evidence of non-human presence here. Whoever came in here and looked, they seem likely to have themselves been human, or at least near human.
Okay. Then yeah, it was probably Tyrann's group. Let's pack this shit up. And yeah, I'm going to have Amelie write out a message for our bounty hunter boy. Tell him the situation has been resolved. He should be safe now. However, his safe house was compromised. He should probably find somewhere else to hang out.
She writes exactly what you said in beautiful flowing cursive. Wait,
And
does
Juno-
cursive still exist in Warhammer?
I hope not.
It's the main form of writing, yes.
God, why?
Okay.
Oh, of course, it's Warhammer. That's why.
It is the worst timeline.
All right, Juno will give it the customary little lipstick smooch, and then give it to some messenger to take off.
All right, Narcia.
Yeah, cool.
So you're trying to disarm a whole load of crack grenades, right?
Yep. Tech?
Yeah, give me, I guess 3 tech use rolls.
Oh boy, do I have any pluses because it's just crack grenades?
I basically only care if you get crit fails.
Okay. Behold. I don't get any crit fails.
Well, we'll see. Okay.
Alright. It'll take you a bit, but you don't blow yourself up.
That's quite
mean-
expensive to have just daisy chains of crack grenades.
Than all the other alternatives.
Juno did pay them top dollar.
They were good quality bounty hunters.
Not good enough, apparently.
No, they were not best quality bounty hunters. I was not willing to shell out that much, but you know. Oh well. I spent nothing on them and they accomplished nothing. And we got some free crack grenades. I'll call that a win.
Yes, specifically 12 crack grenades, along with like 20 meters of blasting wire.
Already happening in blasting wire, but let me mark those down.
Well, there's once you have the grenades, you're just gonna like put her hand out.
You want to carry them or should I?
I mean, I'd like a couple of those grenades.
How many? 6? 12?
4 will be more than sufficient.
Alright then, here you go. Careful, don't pull any pins.
Yes, I know. I have given all of my grenades to Cass, and I will pass these along too. Excellent.
All right.
Back to the estate then.
Indeed. I think we can start wrapping up now, but there's one little
Birds?
matter. Sorry, Snippy?
Are those birds? Or am I going crazy?
Yes. Yes, for some reason, the birds around here wake up at 3 a.m.
So do mine.
Because of the
Damn
street
robins.
lights.
Oh,
Birds are-
no, it's nothing to do with streetlights. The sun is already rising.
What the fuck?
The sky is already a fairly light shade of blue. It's... Remember, Britain is quite far north, Snippy, and it is approaching midsummer.
Oh, okay, no, I forgot that. The planet rotates and shit.
Planetary
You're close to
axis
the
is
equator.
funny.
Yeah, I live in the middle of the planet, so we get normal hours here.
Yeah, official sunrise is in 1 hour, but it's already lightening the horizon.
And I live
Jesus.
upon the same, basically the same latitude and longitude that Snippy does.
The best one. High five.
It's so hot, Snippy. I hate it.
Oh, it gets hotter if you were a little bit lower, like in Crete.
Not the same longitude.
Anyway, yes. We'll move away from our warband, away from Bainmore as a whole, to a dark speck of space. A small vessel. Green and gold, but wrought seemingly of bone, just sits there. And inside is a woman, too tall, too willowy to be human. Limbs that go on forever and ears that come up to knife points. Is sat cross-legged. And a man, at least a male of the same species, slips into the chamber with her, his movements utterly soundless. He waits a moment for her to open her eyes. Asks, "So, what next?" Things move according... Well, things are not my plan. Fortune smiles, cousin. Among K. They have chosen the option we least expected, and all shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. We leave those Eldar, self-satisfied witches that they are, pull away, away and away, cross the sector to a world of forest and ashes, where the Aquila is burned into the very surface, where the ships sent by Lord Lupus are unloading supplies, where junior magi from Vindalex have come to perform uplifting. A light shines high above Lev. Out in the depths of the system, it is a cautious warp point. But what comes through is not a cautious vessel. It is a vessel designed for war. For 1,000 wars. And the ships that come with it are equally equipped. Red, deep red, almost brown, and gold and decorations of roaring flame mark these ships. Draw up firing solutions on Lupus's vessels at once, but open with a hail instead.
Citizens of the Imperium, name yourselves. I am Chapter Master of the Flame Falcons, and I come to reclaim my home.
Nice.
And that, my friends, is where we're ending the session.
Holy shit! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Gonna need a lot of bone hurting juice for this one.
God, I hope they haven't horribly fallen into chaos.
Oops, it's all chaos.
Nah, this
So-
shit's gonna be great.
Let's do XP.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Did you explore a new and interesting location?
Not really, no.
Unless the safe house counts, but not really.
No.
No. Okay. Then yeah, no, the entire session was spent basically in one room.
Did you uncover a new truth about the Gothic sector?
Well, the Flame Falcons are back.
You don't know that in character.
Harum.
I mean, they do know the clowns exist in character, Merz.
That is true. We learned lots about the Eldar in character.
Yes, and as well, you also learned about well, what I can now reveal to be the conspiracy behind the conspiracy, the Ishtvanian Conclave.
That was the other thing, the fucking Stvanians.
Yes, you developed a relationship with an important NPC. You have. Let me just go back to the front page and move Tyrann from foes to allies.
Maybe foe.
Yay!
Did you discover a new page in a PC's story?
Juno's continuing ability to just make friends out of everybody she encounters. So no, not really.
We learned what Juno does if you don't make friends with her right away.
The
That's
rest of the
pattern.
party has finally discovered Juno has a fucking BDSM fetish.
It's a paddling.
That's
Become
a
friends
flaw.
with Juno, or that's a paddling.
Yeah, you know, I'll allow it.
Yay.
You absolutely advanced your investigations.
Yep.
Did you make a sacrifice for the greater good?
Lost my innocent opinion of Juno.
I don't believe that existed.
Juno was so happy for a moment she thought she found a fellow Masso, but no, it was just a tease. Now she's super embarrassed.
There, give me a few seconds.
So 200 XP?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Sweet. And that, I think, is enough to advance my fellowship another point. But in the meantime, if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, thanks for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow for 70. Till then, have a good one, everybody.